Hello, everybody, and how are the finest two thieves in the southern half of Eridon doing today?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah.
Doing good. Excited.
Yeah.
The heat wave is coming to an end, so that's good. I went to see Iron Maiden recently, and they were awesome. I'm not sure if I already spoke about that, but that was sick. That's it. That's it.
I go to Austin tomorrow, and I'm going to celebrate the 4th of July.
Woo!
Austin, cool.
You gonna get some good barbecue down there?
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah?
like the only thing that I want to get. Besides, I guess, Mexican food.
Oh yeah. I imagine Toronto Mexican food not so much.
No.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't know. Toronto, it's the stupid thing of like, I don't know why Mexican food places feel like they can charge like $6 a taco. It's insane. A taco's not worth $6. A taco's worth like $2 to $3, maybe $4 a taco.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
Do you know which barbecue places you're going to?
Not off the top of my head. We're going with locals, so they're just going to take us around.
Perfect.
Okay. There's one called Franklin Barbecue that's meant to be like the OG, one of the best. And I think Joshua Weissman recently posted a video trying to find the best barbecue in Texas. It's probably worth
Fucking
watching
hate
that
that guy,
before you
though.
go. Yeah, his videos are kind of cringe, but it's probably worth watching that just to
Maybe.
scope out the best places to go.
I try not to watch him. I don't like him.
It's a real fall from grace, that guy's channel. I used to really like his stuff, but it's just
Yeah,
been,
he used to do like really good like cooking content, and now he just makes like content.
He's got a new second channel, which is just back to basics recipes, which
That's
is
nice.
okay. Yeah. Sorry, Neil.
I didn't have anything.
Okay.
Let's head on home.
Yeah, let's go.
Our party's going to leave Shirebrook. We're going to head back to Stromheim. We've already paid this month's finances. You know, Sierra might not be around anymore, but things are looking pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, things are
Things are looking
up.
up. Yeah, they are.
We're richer.
We're gonna figure out what's going on with the dwarves. We're rich.
Your expenses are lower. Yeah.
Our expenses are way lower.
So much
We
lower.
met that sexy half-elf wizard.
Yeah.
Mm,
We're
We're gonna go find out about the love potion,
mhm.
and then I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that is probably how we're gonna get a wizard. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that
Now-
seems funny. As a way to gain a wizard into the party, it also seems massively fraught with danger.
It does. I agree.
That sounds exactly like a D&D campaign.
Yeah.
So tell me, as we're journeying back, and we've taken a look at this road, like you're gonna have to camp once again out in the middle over here.
Wait. We can't skip over Thornwood.
No. Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna
Okay.
start. It's a 1-day journey to Thornwood. You're leaving early in the morning to get
Yeah.
there. But on the journey, on the way there, we've got Eraser, who's asking this potion. Now, I've heard you guys talk about it. My memory's a little fuzzy. You know, a couple weeks ago, it just kind of started fading for a moment. Who's got this potion, and how do we get it?
Well, I'm talking to Barbara Ann, and she said, well, I got her on the case. Apparently, Shacklebrook's uncle, he had one back in the day. But he's not sure if he still has it, so I got Barbara Ann checking it out.
Interesting.
His uncle, though, got to live in the inner city, right?
Yeah, probably.
Interesting. Well, obviously, if he's in the inner city, we can't get it from him there. We would need him to trade for it or to bring it out in the open somehow. Either through like a direct, we will do something for you in exchange, or, you know, make it look like there's someone who he wants their services. Like get him.
Well, I got an idea.
Yeah, what do you got?
Let's just forge a letter from Shacklebrook, okay? That says, hey, I need your potion that I know you have to do my wizard studies. I'm gonna make more. And then he'll leave with it, and then we'll get him on the way.
Could work. Well, he's not going to come himself, right? Like, he'll send someone. So we'd have to find out. We'd have to
Who he sends,
have some way of
etc., yeah.
finding out, who it was. But yeah, I mean, that actually could work.
That actually could work. They'd fly under their own flags, I'm sure.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah.
You know, it would just need to be a good. Do we have a sample of Shacklebrook's writing? Because we're gonna need it. If his
we
uncle's gonna
can.
know his handwriting, right?
Yeah,
So-
but we'll get that because we're gonna send a letter to Shacklebrook,
right.
and then
Yeah.
he's gonna send one back to us.
So we do that. We get his writing, and then we rob his uncle.
Hmm.
Good
what
work.
about-
That's a good plan, Pigeon.
Now, isn't this the sort of letter that they might seal? Do we need his seal to do this, or is this
Yeah, they'd probably use a seal, right?
Well, I don't know. Like, you
That can't
use
be too
seals
hard
for
to
very
find.
official stuff, but if you're just writing your uncle,
Probably not.
Why not? I mean,
Maybe.
it's to be on his ring, right? Why wouldn't he seal it?
why wouldn't he seal it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't
I
want
guess if
someone
you're
to read
calling
it.
for that much power, like, send me this potion, you'd want to make it clear.
But what if he's doing it on the down low?
Well, if he's doing it on a download, then it would need to be delivered by someone who's not like an official messenger, right? In which case, it wouldn't be sent out on an official messenger either. This would all have to. I don't know. I
Why
like
would
the
it be,
idea.
why would it be
I
on
like
the
it.
download though?
Yeah.
Well, we'll cook on it.
Yeah.
No, there's legs here. There's legs here. Yeah.
There's something in that though about you think Eraser you could back solve a seal from just from the letter, or would you need the ring?
So, seals are hard, right? Because you can't, like, you can try, but you can never properly fake a seal. If someone's familiar with it, they're going to be able to tell. So what you can do is if you have an unbroken version, you can try and carve multiple seals and get them closer and closer and closer until it's a sort of a match. But that takes a skilled worker, probably with metal, maybe with wood, and it'll take weeks or months. It's not impossible, but it's extremely difficult. And, you know,
I guess that's why they use them.
yeah. And you needed a proper unbroken version of the seal to begin with. But it's hard. It's real hard.
Okay, well, let's see what Barbarian's got to say,
Yeah.
because he might not even live in the inner city.
Yeah.
That's
no,
true.
but this is a good idea. I like pulling him out that way, like pulling that strand, because getting into the inner city could be hard, but getting that potion, as you said, could get a wizard.
Oh, yeah.
The things we do for love.
But what you talking about the half elf from Shybrook?
I shrug.
You know, whichever wizard we'd want. We could
I mean,
have a pick of the litter. We
yeah,
could get the old guy, you know, the guy with the staff.
What, the guy? No, that's too dangerous.
No. If you get
Plus-
a wizard that's stronger than you and they fall in love with you, you're gonna be up in their little dungeon, buddy.
Oh.
You don't want to be the wizard's pet. You want the wizard
Yeah.
to be your pet. You gotta
Yeah.
watch out.
I also
True.
don't want some old guy in love with me, you know?
Well, why do you think it's going to be with you?
Well, it's got to be believable, no?
Obviously, it would be me, says Eraser.
You've got a lot on your plate, boss. I'm not sure that you need to be worrying about that. Plus, if we're talking about the half elf, like me and her, we had like a thing. Like there was a moment. Clearly, that wasn't working between the two of you, Pigeon.
I mean, there's a lot of moments that you've been having with a lot of people, and yet I see each of them walking away, Luther. Feels
Or
like
falling asleep.
feels like you're really good at the warm up, but you just can't seal it.
Oh, trust me. If we're talking about burning, I sealed that deal. If it wasn't for you meddling, that would have been a done deal. But talking about that, I'm gonna have another shot when we get to Thornwood. Pigeon, you better not fuck this up for me.
I'm not
That
going to
was
mess
the
it up.
hottest girl I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to mess it up. Are you bringing her home?
I don't know, I'm not sure I've got that in me, but we were saying we need someone to look after the house, right? Man, I'm saying
Yeah.
like not live in, right? Not live in, but like maybe come in and cook
Just
dinner for us.
bring her to the city, pay for her apartment, have her
Yeah.
come by and do everything. I mean, isn't this literally the same thing that Sierra did with Lemon?
The difference is though, Lemon cost us a small fortune. I would not pay Bernie anywhere near like that, and also I wouldn't expect you guys to split the cost. I would take it out of my own pocket.
Oh.
All right,
go.
I like that.
Uh-huh, until we have to go around buying you drinks because you ran out of money.
Psh, ran out of money.
Well,
It's cheap to live in the outer city if you're not buying designer dresses every 5 minutes like Lemon was.
yes, you can live cheap, but if you got the money, why would you, man? Huh?
And
Life
Bernie will
is
have all
fucking
of these
short.
dresses that Lemon already had. I mean, they're all at her house.
That's
true.
true.
They're all
actually.
that, yeah.
Well,
All right.
let's see what Thornwood's got for us, he says, as you make your way. And on this beautiful June day, we're going to roll a little encounter check.
Wish fish, wish fish, wish fish.
It's pretty hard to find a wish fish on a road.
Yeah.
That's true.
expect.
What would we wish for, Nick?
A wish squirrel. Oh. What would we wish for?
Percival back.
Percival.
Mm,
Nah.
maybe helmet.
That ship sailed, I think.
I'd wish for a magic carpet.
The East Road.
I'd wish for Scoria to come back.
And what if that worked? What if it worked and you just undid the entirety of a previous campaign?
Well, I'll tell you that we would be sitting pretty in Eridon. The Drakisians would be moving the fuck back out.
That's true, yeah. We could wish
Emmerich would figure it out.
We could wish for one of us to be a noble, so we could get into the inner city.
Can each of you roll me a d20, please?
Wish
If
for
I want high or
skeleton
low.
I don't actually know. You might want high.
I went low.
Well, because high is whoever this happens to, and you've got high perception. So, Mr. Nick, with that 15, I need you to make me a perception check. A bad thing happens to you on the road.
Well, what's new?
Yeah.
That won't be a problem because I have 10 perception.
Just roll well.
That's an 18. See, what happens here is an ordinary thing. One of these things that happens all the time when you live in a, a more natural world where there's creatures and animals and trees and grasses, and you don't have like lawnmowers coming by the side of the road trimming everything back and nice little portable
been bit by a
bathrooms all
snake.
over the place. You gotta drain the snake from time to time. You pull your horse off the road. You head over to a tree and some shade. You whip it out. You start to let everything drain properly. But what you don't realize is that in the
I just want to
grass-
caveat. I am at serious risk here because Luther's, it's almost touching the floor. You understand. So it's easy access for the whatever creature is down there. Yeah, well, everyone knows that I always like to base one part of my character on my own personality, and you'll have been watching this thinking, God, I can't say anything about Luther that's like Nick. Well, now you know.
It's while this is happening that the snake in the grass, agitated by the unforeseen splash of your strong and sturdy stream, powerful as it may be, and it decides to lash out at the nearby creature.
I don't even have a free hand to bat the snake away.
Well, you don't even see the snake in the grass.
It's a two-hand job.
Let me open up my little encounter table here.
No, I don't see the snake, no.
Because snakes, they don't actually have a great bonus to hit, but what they do have is catching you by surprise because they were in the grass. You don't.
I can't believe you're about to get me bitten on the dick by a snake just
Who
before
says
I
it's
visit
on
my
the
girlfriend.
dick? It
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
going to be
that's
on the
good.
dick.
Good.
That's a crazy thing.
Where was the nearest cleric?
What do you mean?
I don't think there was one, right? In
I don't remember if there was one in Thornwood.
Imagine this was just save and I'm dead. That would be. It won't be.
No, you're all right.
Yeah.
Just save.
Ooh, okay, poisonous snakes have a lot of different types of poisons. I should roll to determine the type of poison that we have.
Let Nick roll.
All right. From the grasses comes our snake with a +1 to hit and then a +1 for surprise because you don't see it coming and no dex bonuses to your AC. It
Don't get any dex bonus
is
anyway.
a fucking natural 20. I'm not even kidding.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. It's a nice blue die, nice crisp white numbers. Just a lovely little 20. The snake bites you on the leg from the grass. You let out a yell of surprise as the creature hisses and recoils back into the grass. I need you to make me a saving throw versus poison with a +1 modifier to your roll.
+1, okay.
Yeah, it's a regular snake. It's not a fancy mythical snake.
Okay, +1 to poison.
It's a natural 1.
Cool.
It's just like the old days. It's just wow.
You roll a 20, I roll a 1. What could be better than that?
What could be better? Yeah, well, this thing, it sinks its teeth into you for just a moment. It pulls back, and then it into the bushes away from you. You're left
the point of snakes?
with pain in your leg, throbbing, horrible pain in your leg as the other two party members hear your cries and come
I'm
looking.
under no illusion as to what's happened.
Yeah, you've obviously been bitten by a snake.
A snake! God, fuck my leg!
You're gonna die.
Pigeon suck out the poison.
I'll suck the poison out for you. Yeah.
Thank you. Intelligence check from Eraser.
Well, it depends on where he got bit. It was on his leg, right?
It's on his leg. It's on his leg.
Does Eraser intervene if this is a stupid idea? No.
No, he doesn't intervene because your characters don't know it's a stupid idea, right? You don't know that until you have like modern medicine that you realize that that's completely useless and is actually more of a danger to the person sucking out the poison. People live with all sorts of lies for generations and generations. So.
But is it like it's just trading the danger from me to Pigeon, or is it actually it's not helping me, but it's also endangering him?
Correct. Yeah, don't try to suck poison out of bites, kids. It's a terrible idea.
I sucked it out.
Well, it's fine. Doesn't help you. Doesn't help him.
Okay. I say, fuck, this really hurts. Like, what am I looking at, Neil? Am I seeing, like, black tendrils shoot up my leg?
No, not immediately. It's just been moments. It's just sort of starting to swell and get red.
He's gonna die, Eraser. He's got bit by a snake. I know what happens here.
We gotta get back to the town. Help me on my horse. I get on the horse, that should be fine.
You know, first they came for Percival, then it was Helmet.
Don't say that, Ray. I'm gonna be fine. Shut up, Pigeon.
Pigeon, I swear, I'll be a good uncle to you when Luther's gone.
I'm made of sterner stuff than that. Take more than a snake to take me down.
We're cursed. Who cursed us?
They help you back on your horse.
Yeah.
You begin.
I bet it was
away.
that damn guy on the other in the Copperheads. I bet in the temple he put a curse on us.
Yeah, it was probably a copperhead snake as well.
We're going to Thornwood still, right?
You're going to Thornwood. You start riding down the road. Your leg begins, your ankle, I should say, begins to like heat and swell and get itchy. And as you like reach down to keep scratching at it, you can like feel it bulging and oozing. You will take 6 points of damage at this point in time.
Okay. Yeah. It takes 6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Do I need to take my boot off?
I don't think you need to. Okay. Right? No, it's uncomfortable, but you're riding to Thornwood. I'm in pain. Yeah, but I'm okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's only 6 points of damage. It's not a recurring damage or anything like that.
No,
this
it's
might
not.
have killed this. Yeah, this is going to be it. It might have killed a weaker person, but Luther is made of sterner stuff.
Okay, so my leg's just a bit fucked up for a while.
It's just a snake bite on the road because you're 7th level characters, and a snake is not going to kill you.
Do I start to feel better after a while? Like, does the pain start to go down, or
the pain will stay with you for a couple days, and the swelling and nastiness will stay for a couple of days, and you will not be able to regain HP for a little while until this dies down.
I'm saying, like, in my head, do I feel like I'm past the worst of it, or do I not know?
Oh, well, I think Luther is probably like convinced that he's made of stuff or sterner stuff, and the snake is not going to kill him, right?
Yeah.
You're a fucking badass, right? You're probably not too worried about this one.
I'm not too worried. It's just what snake's gonna kill me, you know?
Yeah.
Pigeon cries the whole way home.
I take quite comfort in seeing Pigeon so upset, though. You know, it kind of makes me feel quite happy. Like you know how everyone would like to go to their own funeral and see how everyone mourns them. That's kind of I'm getting a little bit of that now. So seeing how Pigeon and a racer or so sad at the prospect of my imminent demise.
I don't know if I'd want to go to my own funeral. That sounds horrifying.
Probably best not for you to go, yeah.
Holy shit. Wow.
We're all getting roasted here today. I'd say something nice now.
You get to Thornwood. It's late. You're coming in. Your ankle's all swollen. You're sweaty and gross. Are you really going to seek out that chick tonight in the
Not
ruins
tonight,
of the
no.
city?
No, not tonight.
Well, when you guys wake up in the morning, it's time to go. Unless you're going to stay in Thornwood until your snake bite heals.
Yeah, I mean, so in the morning I come down from the inn.
Limping.
And I've not got... I'm limping, yeah. I've not got my boot on. And I say, guys, I could do with like a day or two to recover here. My leg's fucked. You mind? We're not in any rush, are we?
Racer shrugs. No, not in any rush. Pidge?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks, kid. I punch you on the arm.
All right.
Did we have a doctor here last time?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Because
this place is still mostly under construction. Yeah.
You said I can't heal for a while. Like, if I get a doctor, can I kind of
If you could find
make
a
things
doctor.
better? Yeah. I go up to the innkeeper. Hey,
This is
we
the
were here
morning,
last night,
right?
but
yeah.
yeah,
Perfect.
we were here a couple of weeks ago.
Of course,
got
I
bit by a
remember you. We don't
snake.
get a lot of visitors through these parts, especially
Sure.
not so many that pay with gold.
Well, I got plenty of coin. I got bit by a snake on the East Road. I don't suppose there's a doctor in town who knows about this kind of thing, is there?
There's not a professional doctor, but one of the members of the traveling circus has some, I don't know, medicinal something or others. She's made some poultices and balms for people in the past. I don't know if it's very trustworthy, but if you're looking for something, it might be her.
What's her name?
Mathilda.
All right. Cheers, mate. Have you got like something I could use as a crutch or a walking stick?
Vaguely points outside. I'm sure you'll find something around, but that's not my strength. So sorry, pleasant and honored guest.
Understood. I go back. I hobble back over to the table and say, "There's no doctor here, but innkeeper says there's somebody at the traveling circus who makes bombs and stuff. So I'm gonna go check him out. I'm back in a bit. Don't get into any trouble. And if you see Bernie around, just fucking be cool, okay?" I go outside now. There's got to be somebody's like a broom or something that's like on the side of a wall or a mop or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will just take that and I'm gonna like either with my sword or just like snap it across my knee. I'm just gonna snap it down to the right size to be used as a walking stick.
Yeah.
And I sort of like as I do it, I look around and see if anyone is upset.
Nope, you get lucky. Whoever's broom this is, it happens to be away from it for just a moment.
Cool. I take the bottom half of it and I like throw it over a building somewhere else so it's not at the scene of the crime.
Perfect. You chuck it on the other side of a pile of rubble and move on.
All right, and then I hobble over to the traveling circus, which I'm assuming is relatively easy to find.
Yeah, you saw it last time you were here. There's
That's
the
right.
little
It's
town
those guys.
square.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're a traveling circus that hasn't gone very far because you've been away for like 2 weeks. And,
and also traveling circus.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of places to travel, you know?
They want to go to Shirebrook. I reckon people down there would have some coin to spend on a circus. I might tell them.
Maybe they've already been to Shirebrook. Maybe this is their stop. Who
they're-
knows?
Yeah, maybe they're on the way back, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hobble over to the traveling circus. My foot, just clearly fucked up.
Yeah. You get to the traveling circus. Everyone's chilling because they're late night circus folk, right? So by the time you get there, everyone's still passed out from the previous night's adventures. But there's some tents set up in some area, in like some former ruins that have been slightly cleared, and you can go around and I don't know if it's not quite knocking on the tent, but calling out until you hear.
No, well, I don't even do that. The first guy that I see asleep, like as I get there, I like hit him across. Like, I tap his foot with my my walking stick. And as he wakes up, I flick him a silver coin and say, I'm looking for Mathilda.
He like blurrily looks at you, looks at the coin, looks at you. He turns and he points not to one of the tents that are set up, it's like a nearby building behind the tent. And he goes, she's in there, but she's a party animal. She's not gonna be up. She'll come back tonight.
Cheers. I carry up to the building.
He goes right back to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does he do with the silver coin?
It's in his hand. He doesn't even pocket it. He just passes out in the fingers.
I wait a few moments for him to fall asleep and see if he drops the coin.
It's on his hand on the table that he's sleeping at, so give me a pickpockets check. Then
Absolutely.
he'll have like huge penalties because he's asleep on his counter check.
You're taking the coin back?
Yeah, man. Fuck this guy. 18? That should be good enough.
18 versus his perception, but he's asleep, so it's half his perception. And his perception is 11, so it's a 5 plus
Oh, it's close.
15 is a 20.
Oh, shit.
But you are not taking from a bag. You're not picking. His hand's essentially a pocket. Yeah. No, I think you go to do it, and his hand, like as you move his fingers, he begins to stir a little bit and looks back up.
Okay,
And she goes, "What?
I leave it.
What? Did you need some?"
No, you're good, bro.
Okay.
I carry on. Damn it. Failed. My first ever pickpocket attempt. I carry on to the house where Mathilda is.
Okay.
I was going to hopefully reuse this silver coin to ask the next guy where Mathilda was.
Nice. Well, you get to the house. It's seen better days. It looks like it's one of the few buildings that probably survived mostly intact, but the outside walls are scorched and it's clearly got damage to this, that, and the other thing. And the window frame has had to be replaced and it's just sort of boarded up awkwardly. The door, it's sort of hanging on its hinges and it's clear that it doesn't latch properly. And somebody has like a board placed on the inside to keep the door sort of closed during the day. So like it doesn't lock, but it's like semi-barred. You feel like you could push it open if you really needed to.
Yeah, I rap on it with my walking stick. God, I quite like having a walking stick. It's actually quite convenient for a lot of tasks. I also feel like I could slip my walking stick in between the gap on the door and knock the board down. So I can
Get a
use it
cane
quite
sword
easily.
if you want.
Oh yeah, I got a cane sword, yeah. That could be good.
Yeah. It takes a little while, longer than you might expect, but eventually a bleary-headed, long-haired woman whose hair looks like a bird's nest at this point in time. There's like leaves and sticks in it, and it's like all over the place. She like opens the door and looks at you and says, "By the gods, up high, down low, in summer, winter, autumn, and fall. Spring, summer, autumn, fall. What the fuck do you want at this hour?"
I've got some silver coins to the person who can take me to Mathilda.
I'm Mathilda.
Ah, fantastic. Well, sorry to interrupt your sleep, darling, but I've got some gold coins for you if you can help me out with my foot. Bit by a snake, you see, on the road.
Did you say gold coins?
I did say gold coins, yes.
Okay. Come on in. As she opens
Cheers,
the latch fully, brings you in. The place is a mess. There's like 6 people
As I'm walking in,
like
I say,
different states of slumber everywhere.
I saw your show the other night. You guys have got some talent.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I just come back from Shirebrook. I reckon they'd really like it down there. Have you been yet?
We keep meaning to go, but the local lord is kind of a dick, and
Yeah, I heard
don't
that,
want to
yeah.
deal with him. But there's money. But the local lord might kill us if we say the wrong thing, so, best to stay alive and over here. Oh.
Well, yeah,
All right.
sure, I won't tell you how to do your job.
pop it up, honey. Let me see what we're dealing with. Oh, ooh, that could be worse. All right, kid, this is gonna hurt, she says as she like grabs a bag from another area, pulls out a knife, and begins to like cut open your flesh to help drain everything, and throws some weird stinky things on it and binds it all together and tells you to keep it dry, and asks where you're staying because she'll send her assistant by later tonight, either right before the show or right after the show, to come, take a second look at it and change the bandage.
I'm at the bear cave.
Perfect. That'll be 5 gold pieces, sir.
Yeah. Is the swelling going to go down?
It's going to go up for a little bit, and then it'll go down starting tomorrow. But these cuts are going to make it swell like a motherfucker. You should probably stay off it tonight.
Nice one. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
I hobble back to the tavern with my leg now bandaged, and I say, all right, well, good news is that I saw the doctor, guys. Feeling a lot better. Bad news is she said no traveling for a couple of days.
Well, looks like we're stuck here. Pigeon, looks like the old man is also kind of screwed. What do you say we do something fun?
I sit back in the chair. I put my foot on the table and I say, Pigeon, get your Uncle Luther a beer, would you?
Oh, no, hold on. Well, they built the wall here first. How about we go rob them?
Rob the wall?
No, but the nobles or whatever. They don't have a wall up or anything.
Oh, that's true, yeah. It's not like Shirebrook where they built the wall.
It's not like Shirebrook.
That's true. That's true.
Not a bad idea, Pitch.
I could scope it out for a few days.
And technically our vacation is over now. We're heading back
Vacation's
home.
done.
We're working again, yeah.
He shrugs. I don't see a good reason why not to. We're rested.
All right. Yeah. Okay, good idea.
All right.
And I should be back on my feet in like 2 days. So, if we get a plan before then.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Now, Pigeon, if we're gonna go, exploring the noble area where the fancier people might have a little bit of money, we need some cover, right? We're not just tourists looking around. Gem salesman?
I got the gems. I got rings. I got jewelry.
Fucking perfect, buddy. All right, so here's the deal. You're the gem merchant. No, one of us is the gem specialist, and one of us is the salesman. Now, normally I would take on the salesman role because that's what I do. I know how to do these things, and you got them. You look like you might know how to see into the soul of a gemstone. But I'm thinking about the future, Pigeon. I'm thinking about days, years, weeks from now. We might need to change up our roles. And this podunk backwater little nowhere is a nice, easy place to try out new roles. So why don't I try out being the gem specialist and you try out being the actual merchant who makes the sale, huh?
All right. Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
I'll sell to these losers.
Now give me that box with the gems in it.
I pass him over the box.
Perfect.
It's got all the fancy necklaces, all the rings, all the gems. Yeah.
All right. The two of you can stroll on through town looking for the people in this town that might have some money, might be able to afford some gems, might have something worth stealing.
Yeah, so I'm going to be looking for the old noble district where there obviously used to be a wall.
Yeah.
Or a Mountain Bailey, etc.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely find the parts of this town that probably were the fancier parts, but they're still in fucking ruins. It's still nothing going on there. You do find an area where it looks like a lot of the soldiery and the labor force that's building everything is. It's sort of like a sub camp within the town. But you don't
That's where the money's going to be.
Yeah. You see administration and organization and power there, but there's not a fancy tent with pretty flowers or lace hanging off it. It doesn't have that noble vibe. It has much more of a work camp vibe.
I'll stick around here because this is where I feel like it's gonna be, because they're obviously, whoever's leading this town is amazing, and they're not showing off. They're not worried about themselves. They're worried about the town. But where all of the soldiers are is probably where all the money's going to be. So I'm going to look for someone who's giving orders, and then I'm going to watch which tents they go into.
So you're looking around, Pigeon and Eraser. You're asking, you're looking for who might have money here, who might be in charge here. And you see some banners. And you don't have a heraldry proficiency, do you?
Nope.
Okay. Eraser does not have a heraldry proficiency either. So you don't know what flag it is that's flying over this little soldier's camp. But you can ask.
Flag equal money.
Flag equals money, right? At least equals someone worth something. And it's not unusual in this day and age, if you don't know what a flag is, to just be like, hey, whose flag is that? It's a common question. So you can ask a local, and they'll tell you it's the flag of Kel Reyna Tolwick, which rings a bell for you because that last name, Tolwick,
That's the lady that maybe not her, but it's a part of like the last name of like the princess that I think the letters were about.
It's
maybe
Imric's girlfriend, right?
It's there's that Wick name is definitely someone.
Yeah.
It's someone important from Drekis. You don't really know much about those
That's a
fuckers
somebody.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it you found? Sorry, I was looking at something else. Remote.
Just the banners, Lady Tolwick's.
Oh, it's the banners. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a perception check to see if I can find out who's kind of running this bitch.
Well, they just told you it's Kel Reyna Tolwick.
Oh well, I'm gonna see if I can see him. You know. walking around or
actually
anything.
find them. Gotcha. I
How
understand.
Yeah.
did Pigeon know that it's the Tulwicks?
He asked a local because
Someone just told us.
Yeah. It was totally reasonable thing to do. Yeah. If you're asking around who this is, you and Eraser will get a description of the lady. She is said to be a young knight in her early 20s who comes from Drekis, far, far away. And you two don't know anything about this, so I'm going to tell your characters, like, you know, what the locals here will tell you is that Drekis, the new empire that's running Eridon, has a couple of, like, rather than being a king and this duke and this, it's like one big royal family that rules everything. And the queen, now empress, sits at the top, and like one branch of her family are the Solwicks, and they have like a territory. And another branch of the family are the Kershwicks, and they have a territory. And another branch of the family, well, actually, their other houses are all dead. There used to be a place up here called Ralwick and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the black sheep of the Empire's family is the Tolwick family. And maybe like 1,000 years ago, not quite, like 500 years ago probably, there was a war in which the Tolwicks changed sides and fought for their long-term rivals, the Akubans. And ever since then, they've always been on the outside of the family. Like, things got fixed, they got changed, but their city had to be renamed from Tolwick to Outlast. And ever since then, they've been like desperately trying to prove themselves as worthy to the main family. And one of the daughters from that family is out here in Eridon, settling Thornwood and doing the sort of job that you see, this like pretty militarized, outer defenses first, no fancy pantsy anything, like fairly Spartan militarized reconstruction attempt.
So, just to clarify, Shelley Tulwick was Imric's sort of girlfriend for a while. That's her older sister. This
you know, it
person's her
could
younger
be
sister.
an older sister or a cousin or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. A relative for certain, but exact family could be anything.
Cool. Let's rob a blind.
Yeah.
We gotta be careful here, Eraser, because we were to take like a magic item. If, like, imagine they had one, right? We took one. How are we gonna get out of here before they notice? Because
I hear
the
ya.
walls are up here.
I hear you. I agree. You know, like, the way they say it, part of the Empress's family, but like on the outside trying to look up. You know, if a magic item goes missing, they might go to a lot of lengths to get that back. You know, it could be a big blight on them. But a little money goes missing, you know, they're not going to complain about that, right? They're not going to be like, oh my God, we were robbed, because that's not going to look very good for them.
Yeah, but Eraser, these are the people who went into the dragon's lair, and all of the magic is from the dragon. Imagine how powerful it could be.
Do you think there's dragon treasure in this burned down city?
Well, they're building the wall for something, right?
Yeah, but not for a dragon treasure. And if they were, like, wouldn't you not bring it until the dragon treasure was here?
Well, I'm not saying it's all of the treasure, but you know, they brought it all out. They handed it around among all their nobles. That lady's got something.
Maybe. You're such an optimist, Pigeon. You see, I see the world as a potentially or essentially just like rich people fucking everyone downstream. But you've got this vision of like they're all working together and handing out wealth between each other.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
It's different than the way I think, and I think that's good. I think together.
She's probably got a sword that just lops people's heads right off.
Well, if we have that, then we don't need to sneak our way out. We could just fight our way out.
Yeah. Well, let's watch her for a day or two and see what she's got.
All right. So you've got a description of her, and at some point, as you're like walking around and looking at the camp from afar, you can see her coming out of one of these large tents, heading over to a well, getting out some water from the well herself, taking a nice big drink, slopping the rest of it over her head, and then heading right back into the tent. So you know what she looks like, you kind of know where she's hanging out, but it is in the middle of this camp where the soldiers who aren't on duty are resting, and it's also right near where all of the bricks are being laid out in the sun to dry. If you'd like to go this, you know where she is. You
We
can go
still
talk
have
to
those
her.
poisons, right?
Which one?
Now, I'm not saying we do it.
The milkweed.
The milkweed, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's
could
like,
just-
I know I'm not there, but if she's like pouring water over herself, she's in no way like a lady. She's like clearly a soldier.
She. There's nothing ladylike about this chick.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me roll her hotness.
I mean, she'd still be hot and still not be very ladylike.
That's true. Tell me about it. 6 on the hotness scale. No, this woman is born in the mud with the sword in her hand, scars across her face, but not like the sexy scars, more of the like, you know, part of my nose has been chopped off scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going in there.
I mean, you're the
Sell?
talker, Pigeon.
We're gonna go sell.
All right.
All right, we go.
A voice says maybe you should wait for Luther. No?
No, he's.
We're going in. All right. Good luck.
You head
on
up.
it. We're not
One of the
thieving
soldiers
yet.
near
We're
the
just
camp.
selling.
Yeah, well, they stop you as you're approaching, as you would expect, just to be like, state your business. What are you doing here? Eraser
Hello,
looks
my
at you.
lord. I'm here to talk to Miss Lady Tolwick, Kel Tolwick. We have some items that we're selling.
What are you? I don't just let any old huckster, traveling salesman, walk up to Her Highness and try and sell her stuff. What's the deal?
Show them, my friend.
And I motion over to Eraser. I don't say his name.
He opens the box with a flourish, revealing the gems and the necklaces and whatnot. And the guy chuckles. Oh, you're barking up the wrong tree if you think that's what's up her alleyway. Maybe if you find yourself a magic sword, you can come back and talk. Miss Tolwick ain't got no time for dainty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the gems, they're worth an amount. And if you have extra, like, silver or something, we could swap them.
I appreciate everyone's got to try and make a living in this burned out age that we're in. But the money that we got here is for paying soldiers' salaries, and you can't do that with gemstones. Got to stay it in gold and silver.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
hear that.
kids.
Okay.
Maybe on the way to Shirebrook, you'll find someone better.
But she's buying magic items?
Well, I just said that on a lark. You don't have any for sale, do you?
I give him like a rug.
I know where a few are.
Well,
what type
where
is
are
she
they?
interested in? Like a A longsword?
Where are these magic items?
Well, I can't tell you.
Well, I don't believe you have them then.
I shrug.
Okay.
He shrugs too. All right. Now carry
Do we-
on.
Where is our magic longsword? Is it still at the
It's
lair?
at her house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. She's interested in magic, which means she might have something.
You played that well, Pigeon. You played that well. An amateur would have pushed their luck and really tried to get in, raise some suspicions. We left that door nice and open. We can always come back,
Nice
try
and
again. Mm-hmm. Good job. Good. I'm proud of you, Pigeon.
All right. Let's tell Luther.
They meet you with
You
Luther.
come back to the inn,
Yeah.
and I've accosted some poor chap, and I'm telling him tales of our misdeeds in Stromheim. And you know, I'm a few beers in at this point because I've got nothing better to do. I'm just sit here. I've got my foot up on the
resting
table,
it. Yeah.
and I'm actually in the middle of telling this guy about the half-elf wizard that I had a fling with back in Shirebrook. You know, going into that. It's like, you know, a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell. She had silver blonde hair, flowing blue dress. You know, she's real good. She taught the kids how to swim. You know, she heals the sick.
Luther.
Ah, here they are now. These are my friends I was telling you about. Guys, this is Jim. Jim's a good guy. He grows potatoes out in the fields.
I pass him a gold and tell him to get lost.
Get out of here.
He takes
I
the
look
gold.
at Jim and shrug.
Bam.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
All right. We got a plan, Luther.
Oh yeah, that was quick.
Yeah, the lady, Kill Tolwick, she's got magic items.
Kel who?
Kill Tolwick.
Who's that?
She's the night lady of this town
Oh right, okay.
from Drickus.
Oh, what a bitch.
And she's got magic items.
She. Look at her, Racer. She does.
He shrugs. Kid seems to think she does. She didn't want any of the necklaces or jewelry we're selling. She's kind of an ugly bitch, you know, looking very more like a mercenary than a lady.
Isn't the Dracissian queen called like Tolwick?
Yeah.
Just Wick.
She. Oh right, that's a bit of a coincidence.
No, they're related.
Oh well,
It's
yeah.
a-
Well, she's bound to. Didn't they? They've got loads of magic shit, right? Because of the dragon.
They raided a dragon. They all got magic, all of the nobles.
Yeah. Okay.
So we gotta
cool.
follow her and find out where she stays, and we gotta break in.
But she fucking stays in the camp, man. Didn't you see her? She's like walking around like a soldier, hanging out with all them.
Yeah, but which tent?
Oh, yeah. Well,
You stay here, and I'll go watch her and find out where she goes tonight. Which tent she's in.
you just be real careful, buddy. You know, out there by
What ki-
yourself. You saw what happened when Sierra got a little too close to that building. If these people are on guard and they think you're sneaking around their tent, like, they're not going to stop and ask you, what are you doing? They're just going to fucking hack you to bits. So,
I'll be careful.
All right.
Hey, before you go, Pigeon, I wonder what happens. Like, they've got all those dead ogres outside. She's got magic weapons. She's the one killing all the ogres, right?
Yeah?
That could get her out of town.
Hey. We spot some
What do you-
we spot some ogres.
Mhm.
She and her knights ride out to go meet them.
I mean, we've
Security's
got
a little
horses, right?
low.
They already said that the horses could outrun the ogres. We could even
Yeah.
like track some down, right? Draw them to the town.
But wait, what's that
Yeah.
gonna do?
Well, she comes out, fights the ogres, and then the chaos.
But we'd have to get into town. Like, we'd lead them to town. They'd come out. We'd immediately have to go to their spot.
No, we
Could
go and
work.
help them fight, right?
Wait,
And
help
the
them fight
chaos.
the ogres?
Yeah,
and then
but
kill
then-
her in the chaos?
I shrug. Yeah, why not?
But to what end?
Steal that shit.
But aren't the
Yeah, but
other
can't we
people
just do
still
that
going
at
to come
night?
after us?
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to kill them all.
Oh, but that's
You want to
you know you're-
kill a healers? You want to kill a knight and all of her warriors while we fight ogres? I think the snake bite is getting to your brain.
Yeah, you
They
might
did
want to
say-
leave the
they
plan
did
to
s-
us.
They did say that that could happen, actually.
Yeah, that sounds like the most risky strategy possible.
No, we're not warriors, man. We're sneakers. We can sneak in here.
Speak for yourself, you know. I've got a magic sword.
Well, I have a magic dagger. Anything, the next magic item goes to Eraser here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even use that fucking sword yet. I really need to get someone in town to teach me to use that sword. You would think with it just being slightly longer than my other sword, it would be okay, but it's confounding.
Eraser nods. It's the slashing motion. It's so different than the thrusting, you know?
It really is.
Like-
I roll my eyes and I head out to go watch.
I'm a thruster, you know, Eraser? You can ask your mom. I'm a thruster.
Well, she says you try, but after 1 or 2 thrusts, you're basically exhausted.
Yeah, well, that's fair, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know why
on,
she's
Pigeon.
talking to me about this stuff, though. It's
Pigeon's
really
gone.
disappointing.
Eraser, you want a beer?
Yeah. Give me a beer and the old bear.
Great. Well, the bar's just over there, I say. You did get rid of Jim.
Is this your plan?
I point to my leg.
You ask if I want a beer, and then you get me to go get you a beer.
He's got a bad
sly
leg.
fucking fox.
I've got a bad leg. What do you want?
God damn, Luther. He says, muttering as he goes and gets you a beer. And
Nice.
yourself one. All right, Pigeon. You're gonna go stake out the camp, right? Or find
Oh
a-
yeah, I'm staking it out.
And you're,
Carefully.
yeah. Tell me how you prioritize this, because we can just make straight hide checks, or you can make it easier to hide, but in exchange for making it harder to see, or you can make it easier to see in exchange make it harder to hide. Like what sort of how you want to do this, buddy?
You're so high on all of those stats.
I just want to roll. I just want to roll,
You're just gonna fuck
and
it
if
up.
I
down the
fuck it
middle.
up, then I'm just gonna talk my way out of it.
Fucking awesome.
It's that easy.
It's that, yeah. Yes, exactly. All these other people getting all worried about playing optimally, not really. Don't
I
listen
just
to
trust
them.
my rolls, I built my character with these points in order to not have to worry about this.
Just roll well.
Just roll
ahead.
well.
Like, here's the one thing I'll give you, is if there's a building that I feel like I could pick my way into to have like a really good view of the camp, I'll do that.
There's no such building.
Then
There
we
are
fucking roll.
ruins, but there's no
Yeah.
like good proper, like I could sneak into this building and then no. Everything is
Okay,
just
cool.
sort of yeah.
Before we get into this, though, we'll just remember last episode how we almost got fucked because you got caught sneaking around by those kids.
Can't happen twice in a row.
Okay. Yep. Can't argue with his logic.
All right, Pigeon. Now you've got the day to do this. Not a difficult thing. I'm going to want from you. The first thing we need to do is get you out of sight so you can position yourself. So I'm going to want a hide check from you. But hold on. Let me
Holden.
come up with our modifiers here. This is first to there's some main avenues, there's some main walkways. There's not really a lot of reason to like wander off them into the rubble. And if you're standing guard or just like hanging out with nothing to do and someone goes into a weird spot, like does something unusual, you might watch them out of interest or curiosity, or if you're paranoid, out of worry, right? Like if you're hanging out near a bridge and you see someone not walking over the bridge but climbing on the side of the bridge, you'd be like, what the fuck is that guy doing? It'd catch your interest. So what you need is a hide check to see if you can like slip into the more, I don't want to call them restricted, but the more sensitive, curious areas without initially being seen.
Sweet.
And then you'll get the quality of cover is going to be quite high. The abundance of cover is going to be sort of mid, because there's like, no cover and then lots of it off to the side. So that's a 4 and a 0. And you'll be doing this semi-reactionally, semi-prepared. So we'll call it a 0. So give me a high check at +4.
Here you go. And then add 4. 29?
29. Excellent. Now, if there is somebody watching, and I'm not saying there is, but if there were, they would have one of these for their perception, and they would roll. Okay, you got a 29. Cool. So maybe you slip in unnoticed. Maybe you slip into the nice covered spots one someone notices you. There's no way to know.
Who knows?
Yeah. The next thing you're going to need to do is to get into a good vantage point, which means moving quietly through this sort of rubbly area without knocking anything around, without drawing any attention. So that's going to be a move silently check. And your modifiers, let's see, you don't have any penalties, but it's also not like fresh snow. It's like...
I'll take off my shoes for this.
Okay. You're leaving them in the rubble somewhere then. You'll come back and get them.
I'll just put it in my bag.
Perfect. So we'll do a -1 on the environment. You're barefoot, so a +2 from that. You do have a bag with you, so that's a -1 for loose gear. You're not encumbered, are you?
No.
I don't think so. And you're not wearing any armor.
Yeah,
so
you know what? I'll stuff my bag into somewhere in the rubble, and I'll come back for it. Not to.
Yeah. So that is a -1 for environment and a +2 for your shoes and footwear. So
Overall,
a total +1.
Here you go. Add 1 to this. 27.
27. Very good. You don't make very much noise moving through this rubble at all. And someone who may be opposed and watching. Okay, great. Now from this spot, you can get a good idea of a good vision of that camp, and you can watch her come and go. It's going to be a long time in the day doing this. One of the worst problems when you're just scouting something out is fighting boredom. Because if you're lying somewhere in an uncomfortable spot for 2 hours and nothing is happening, you know, the mind begins to wander. It's an eternal problem, soldiers or watchmen getting bored and losing focus. Been around since we were all hunter-gatherers. I'm going to need a perception check from you to see if you can pick up on any of the subtleties that matter here. 23 is a great roll. Yeah. So you'll see that Kel Reyna Tolwick, she spends a lot of her time in this big tent, but if you get the impression that there are other people in here, every now and then someone else will come out for a moment, or someone will come in and then leave very quickly, you get the vibe that there's some sort of meeting or discussion or plan, or it doesn't feel like a festival or a party, but you get the impression there's a couple of folks who are spending all day in this tent. And as the day begins to kind of wind down, everyone comes out at some point. There's like 4 people who have been in here. Kel Reyna is one of them. The others all give her like salutes, or the one woman in the party gives her a curtsy. And then the 2 other male soldiers in the area head back to some other tents and talk to some other soldiers. The one woman in there who gave the curtsy heads back into the town itself, like away from the camp and soldiery and everything.
I want to kind of remember her, because that could be useful.
Yeah. Kel Reyna at this point heads over to a average tent. It doesn't look any bigger or fancier than any of the other soldiers' tents, but it does have a little banner that sits out front of it with the house sigil over it that sort of marks it as her tent, just for logistical regions. But it doesn't look big. It doesn't look fancy. And when I say tent, I want you to imagine like, a string with a cloth folded over it, so like the front and back
like
are
a camping
open.
tent, like
an old
style
Boy Scout tent. Yeah, a real basic bitch tent. And you can see her go in here. It's at a bit of an angle. You can't like look right into it, but you see essentially like she flops down on a cot within it, and then you can see like a boot fall out as she like kicks her shoes off, and then she gets up and like
so it's like big enough for her,
back. Yeah, but it's like totally unguarded. And you see her essentially just like getting ready to go to bed as the sun is going down in the camp amongst her soldiers without any sort of separation or distinction.
Can you tell me what she was wearing? Like what? Was her sword?
She had a sword at her waist. She had a sword, a short sword, both on the left side of her hip, and a dagger on the right side. In terms of clothing, she was wearing like rugged outdoor traveling gear, like very thick canvasy pants, a loose shirt that still like covered all of the skin so you don't like get exposure, but you also nice and loose to like let air flow through with I want to call it like long sleeves that are sort of tied up.
Could I spot a
Very-
seal?
Seal, like a ring on her finger with the seal.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check. 32 is good enough to notice that she was wearing like good warrior's gloves, which wouldn't leave any room for a ring inside. So no rings.
She's got to have her seal though.
If she's
Probably in
got
her
one,
tent.
it's somewhere. Yeah, maybe it's in a pocket. Maybe it's in a tent.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a locked box with her most important stuff that's buried 6 feet underground. Who knows? But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to be on her hands normally.
Okay.
But well armed, not wearing any armor, but wearing like very purposeful, rugged, I'm spending my time outdoors clothes.
Yeah. All right,
yeah. Long
I'm
dark hair.
gonna head out now.
You don't watch, see what happens in the evening at the camp?
No, because I'm thinking I guess I'm trying to think like, would we want to go tonight? But then I think, well, hold on, Luther's not going to be ready for 2 more days. So I'll actually buckle down and I'll watch how many people are on guard, what happens tonight at the camp.
Yeah, you'll see that there is definitely like a shift change for the night shift to come out.
What time-ish?
Sundown-ish. Yeah.
Perfect. So when
Yeah.
she goes to bed, there's a shift change.
Right. I think the shift change actually happens like a little bit before. She waits for it to finish. She like goes to the bed, to the tent, kind of takes some stuff off, goes and gets some last minute Brett dinner. The shift is changing.
Got it.
She greets a few more people, shakes some hands, some more salutes go around, and then she goes and crashes out pretty quickly. It's notable that when she does go to like fully crash out, you'll notice that there's another soldier, sort of like an older gentleman, who pulls up and like takes a seat on a little bench with his back to a barrel out in front of her tent. And he does look like he's getting comfortable, like he's going to maybe pass out here and fall asleep sitting up. But there is a bodyguard who like sits at her tent once she's settled for the night.
What's he drinking?
He's got a water skin or a wine skin that he's drinking from. The guy's got like salt and pepper beard. He is wearing a little bit of armor. He's got like a shirt of chainmail on, but like no chain limbs or anything, and a padded doublet underneath, which means he's probably pretty uncomfortable as he's sitting up sleeping.
I'm gonna hunker down and I'm gonna watch him and see if he gets up at any time in the night to go refill his water or wine skin, or anything like that.
Yeah, you're here watching, waiting. Give me a con check, Pigeon, because you're gonna be waiting pretty late.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 modified
Nice.
30. I was going to say maybe you fall asleep, maybe you get so uncomfortable, but no, you managed to hold this position. This guy, he essentially does seemingly fall asleep out in front of her tent. He's probably doing something all day, and now his job is to watch her at night. But like you can't be on duty 24/7, so he does fall asleep pretty quickly. He will wake up a couple of times in the night. One of the times he does get up and walks maybe 20 feet away, 25 feet away, 30 feet away, near a tree with some rubble piled around it, which he proceeds to just take a piss in. And then he stumbles back to his spot. I shouldn't say stumbles, comes back to his spot and hunkers down. You'll notice he is not wearing shoes. He is trying to get some level of rest, so he's not like ready to run, but he does keep his chainmail shirt on and a sword out of its scabbard sitting on his lap. So like the blade is exposed.
Got it. I think to
But
myself,
he's asleep.
if we want to do this and we don't want to do it right and we actually think there's something here, we should wait in this town until there is an ogre attack, because they're gonna get wounded, they're gonna come home, they're gonna be off of their game, they're gonna be tired, people are gonna be fucking hurt, and they're gonna spend that night for sure recovering, which we could then take full advantage of. We could technically try and get an ogre attack to happen, but I think that's probably way more trouble than it's worth. They kill ogres here all the time. What's a week?
Yeah, as you've been going through that, I did think as well, right? Like, what if I could disguise myself as a knight, okay?
Yeah.
We could find a cave or somewhere in the woods. You know, I could make myself look wounded. I could come into town, they've not seen me, and I could say, like, I was attacked on the road. My friends have been killed. There's ogres. I don't know if you know. I've seen the things outside. I'm guessing you guys know how to deal with them. I can take you to their cave and help me kill them so I can recover my friends' bodies. And then we could set like a trap there, like a pit or something like that. Try and lead them into it. And then have crossbows and just fucking kill them.
I just think that gets really
Yeah, it gets messy.
Yeah.
But so does sneaking into the camp though.
Agreed. But I think it helps that we're A, trained thieves, and B, if there was an ogre attack, you know, people are going to be injured, people are going to be tired. They're already tired and working hard here. I'll get up at this point and I'll head home because I don't want to stay up all night.
Yeah.
Probably when he falls asleep, it's like, okay, he's not like the dutiful guard that you would expect. And then I head
Yeah.
back and I relay all this information.
Is he the only person awake?
At a certain point, things will settle down, and he will be he's not awake. Most of the other people will fall asleep. The camp does have sentries all night long. There are multiple of them. I think there's 2 of them that you can see, and they do keep the area lit with lanterns throughout the night. But it's only 2 guards. It's a big camp with no real defined walls around it, so like you could approach from any side.
Yeah, you said
If you
that the Lady Tulwick's tent opened from both sides. If you came from the
Totally.
back side, how easy is that watched?
I say there's 2 guards, right? But it's not like it's not like we're playing Hitman or something, and there's like certain angles that are viewed, right?
Yeah.
So
Of course.
is that side watched? Yeah, of course. They're all watched. All the sides are watched.
Sometimes.
But sometimes there's only 2 guards. You know, it's sort of a big open area, which makes it easy to sort of see everything, but also means that you're never really looking at everything. So, yeah. But at the
How was our
middle of the night, it gets real
backstabs?
quiet. Your backstabs at level 7.
Increases the multiplier for every 4 points of AC cleared. So it's like you're...
Yeah, so if you succeed, you're doubling your damage, and if you clear by 4 or more, you go from double to triple to quadruple to quintuple to sextuple.
I have a question. If someone's sleeping like this, is there ever just a position that it's like an auto kill?
Yeah, if someone is asleep
Yeah.
or held, it's generally
Unless
an auto
they're
kill.
Geralt of Rivia.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to say that like to get that auto kill, it has to be a situation where you don't mind like making noise. If you're trying to like slit someone's throat quietly while everyone else is asleep around them, there's still going to be a role for somebody to wake up or that person to make noise. But like, if you were just to walk into the area next to someone who's asleep and you have a 2-handed axe, you could chop their head off.
Chop their head off.
Automatically, but then everyone else around you would probably wake up, right? So
Yeah. Okay. I see.
totally.
I'm just wondering if there's like any way I could use my acting and disguise to get myself into the camp separate to you guys. Like, what if I'm a traveling knight from Stromheim or High Castle, you know, and I'm passing through. Do you mind if I stay with you guys in the camp?
Why would
I know you want to
Just
use your
like-
act. I know you want to use your acting and disguise proficiency. However, if you're gonna be a knight, that like the negatives are so crazy because the modifiers are insane. You're going from being a street urchin to like a person of nobility.
I'm actually. It's not so much that. I'm just thinking like, is there any reason why this whole job doesn't just work better with you doing it on your own?
Yeah, distraction for the sentries.
Distraction's pretty dangerous. Last time that almost got me killed.
Semi-true, yeah. I think maybe you being in a spot that can like feed me a sign if like the sentry's facing my way. The question is, it's like, let's say we're in the tent, right? What are we doing here? Am I
But I mean, the goal is to steal our weapons, right? I think that's the right now. That's the
Probably.
only lead. Yeah.
Yeah. Take her 2 weapons and not kill her, right?
Yeah. Well, not kill her. I
That's
mean,
what I'm
maybe
thinking. Yeah.
Maybe you would kill her. I don't know, but because I don't think. I mean, they've probably got gold. We don't. Really, they're probably
We
not
don't
going to have
need
that
it.
much gold
No.
that's going to make this worth doing. If she's got a magic weapon, which given that
For
she's
sure
like
worth.
given that she's like a knight, I feel like she's more likely to have a magic weapon than she is to have a magic ring. Or a
Agreed.
necklace. Could still be.
Could
I would
be.
think. I mean, I would assume that Drakisi and Nobility are all going to have a +1 sword because there's just so many of these fucking things going around. Like out
Agree.
of character, I feel like she probably does have a +1 sword.
She's probably got something. So, what was there, Neil? There was 2 swords,
There's
correct,
a short
and a
sword, a
dagger.
long sword, and a dagger.
Yep.
There were 3. There were 2 swords and a dagger.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you think, Eraser? Should I do it alone?
Well, before there,
Yeah.
right? Because you're not coming back until late at night when the others are already asleep. I wanna
Yep.
deal very briefly with Nick because you talked to what was her name, Mathilda.
Jim. Oh, Mathilda, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
she's assistant's coming round.
her assistant comes round. Perfect. Why don't we
I'm
take a short
in the
break?
I'm in the
I
same
need some
spot.
water, and
Yeah,
then
I need to
we'll
move over
do
laundry.
this.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardly Heroes. So it's the evening. You've been drinking all day. The Matilda's assistant comes on over, and she's Matilda was a fine woman, whatever. Her assistant is older than her, like probably in her 40s or something. Dark hair, sort of like mousy clothing. She'll come up to your where's our tavern music? Come up to your tavern she'll probably see you in the tavern itself after dark.
I've not moved. I've literally sat on this chair all day with my leg up. I don't know if this is obvious to you or the audience, but Luther's trying to get the swelling to go down so that he's in a position to go and find Bernie tomorrow and not look like a weirdo.
Right. So,
So
you're keeping
I'm taking the advice to keep my leg elevated and stay off it.
yeah. Well, she comes
She didn't
up
say
to
anything
you.
about not drinking, so
Didn't.
you know.
The assistant comes up to you. She finds you in the common room, and sort of sheepishly, head down, not making too much contact, wanders over and says, "Excuse me, are you the man who my lady Matilda said I should be assisting?"
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Sure, that's me. Yeah. The snake bite.
Yes.
I motion to my butt. This is the one.
She looks around the room. You really should be getting bed rest, sir. You shouldn't be down here drinking. You should be in bed.
I haven't moved all day. This is as
Sir.
good as bed rest.
Sir.
Well, unless you're going to carry me up. I think I'm stuck here.
She looks in your eyes. It's this sort of pleading, I don't want to get in trouble with the boss look.
Really?
Excuse me, sir. I must insist that we get you to bed.
Okay. I finished my drink. All right, but is she old and frail? No.
No, she's older. How do we, well, first off, give me a charisma check. You size this woman up. Trying to get a vibe for what's going on here. A 22. That's pretty good. She looks like the sort of person that really lacks confidence, but doesn't mean that she's incapable, right? That's sort of, she's probably not a weak person, but her physical posture is sort of timid. And she's, being insistent that you go to your room, so she clearly knows what she's doing, but the way in which she's doing it is sort of meek, and instead of saying get up to your room right now, you asshole, it's oh please sir, I'm gonna get please, I'm begging you to, so it's
I finished my drink and then I look the next table over. There's a group of guys who I've had sporadic conversation with,
of course,
over the course of the day, and I shout over to one of them whose name is, the only name I can think of is Dave. I call him Dave. I'm not sure if his name's Dave. I go, Dave, I'll give you a silver if you help me up to my room.
he gets back up to his feet, kind of hobbles over, bumps into your leg accidentally, gets an arm under you and helps lift you up.
Okay.
Yeah. The girl hobbles behind you until Dave gets you in bed, and then she'll plop down and undo the bandages on your wound, which smell a little bit, and she'll prepare a poultice. And then she starts to work on you.
Better.
Oh, good. It should. There was a numbing agent in the poultice that Mistress Mathilda put on you earlier. It should numb the pain, but don't think that's it healing. That's just numbing.
Oh, okay. Sure. You work for her, do you?
I do.
You in the circus?
No, I don't do well in front of crowds or people. I try to help out where I can, though.
She didn't seem like the kind of girl that would have an assistant.
Well, she took me in when things were bad. My family's was from this part of Eridon. Give me another charisma check.
Yeah.
Perfect. A 21's a barely success. You can hear a bit of an accent in her voice. It's not just an Eridonian accent. It's like an educated Eridonian accent, even though she's sort of speaking like a normal person. My family's from
She could run our house.
this part of the area, and I
Oh yeah.
you know, after everything that happened, Miss Matilda was kind enough to take me in, and I've always sort of relied on helping hands. Although I do what I can where I can.
Well, that's nice of her. I mean, she seemed kind of. I know that I'm drunk, but she seemed the kind of person that's always drunk, if you know what I mean.
But she's the life of the party. You know, wherever Miss Matilda goes, people flock in her wake. You know.
I can believe that.
What's your business here in Thornwood, Snakebite Man?
Went for vacation in Shybrook, actually.
You must be rich to be able to afford a vacation.
Well, we do all right in the city, you know. Stromheim.
Oh. I
It's
went
not.
once when I was a kid, back before the war. It was
You did you?
invited to a ball at the Queen's estate.
What?
Well,
You like a
palace, I
servant,
guess. No, my family used to own some property back here. Once upon
Is
a time.
that right? How'd you find yourself? No, I mean, how'd you find yourself doing this?
Probably the same way you found yourself stealing, unearthing the materials you do.
Well, no mystery to that, darling. I mean, I grew up dirt poor. I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest. I certainly didn't get invited to any balls at the Queen's estate.
Well, terrible things brought me down pretty far and raised you up pretty high, I suppose. Sort of trading places, I guess. I didn't have
What did you say
anyone
your
else
name
to...
was? What was your name?
Annabelle.
Well, your full name, though.
Annabelle Redshield?
Redshield. Do I recognize that name, Redshield?
Give me a charisma check at like -4.
Here we go.
Oh,
This
he's
is
due
big
for
one,
a good roll.
Yes.
Ooh, there was a minor noble family named Redshield that like held some property in Rainwood once upon a time. They were only one of a few families.
I think I heard of you guys. Rainwood, right?
She nods. Yeah, that was us back before everything burned down.
I look at how old is she? She's about 40.
Somewhere in her 40s. Yeah.
We're about the same age, you know. Maybe I saw your family coming in that day when you went to that ball.
I would have been in a carriage. Young girl. Wouldn't have known.
Sure. Maybe that. I used to look at the flags though, you know. I mean, it's like a red shield, right?
Yep.
Still got it.
Get her a job, Nick.
we still use the family red shield for a prop at the circus. I kind of think that's why they brought me on.
Oh yeah. It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it?
Respect doesn't put food on the plate.
So are you like good with medicine and stuff?
I try. I learned a few things here and there during the hard times. Some other kind people took me in. I picked
Do you
up
think
what
you
I
could do it without Matilda?
She pauses, like as she's tying the bandage back around after it's been, reapplied. The poultice has been reapplied to the bandage. She's tying it around your leg. She makes eye contact with you and goes, "Well, what do you mean?" And then kind of looks away.
Well, I'm just saying, I spent a lot of gold on doctors. That's all. So we lost some friends recently. We got a big house up in the city. I'm just saying, if you're looking for a change of scene, could do with a doctor.
What part of the city?
The outer part.
I hear it's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is. But I've still got people that I'm scared of out there, but we're not nobodies. Listen, I'm not going to take you away from your job. Sounds like you've got a thing going on here, but if you do fancy a trip to the city, head to the southwest. There's a tavern called Rusty's Hook. You ask for Luther, you'll find me.
Okay. Good.
So what's the deal with the foot? Is it going to be looking better tomorrow?
She, enthusiastically nods her head. Yes, you should be able to put some weight on it by tomorrow. I hope you're not walking. Are you riding? Carriaging? I
can ride, yeah. The thing is, though, there's this girl in town. I don't know if you know her. She's a bricklayer or brickmaker. Goes by the name Bernie. I mean, if you'd have seen her, you'd know. She's
everyone knows
the
Bernie.
best-looking girl I ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was passing through here before my vacation, we had a bit of a thing. And I was really looking forward to seeing her again. And this fucking snake got me on the way down here. And, it's just my luck. But I was hoping that I wouldn't be hobbling by tomorrow. I could get over there and try and say hi.
I think her father's pretty mad at you. We all heard the story of Bernie passing out at the table.
What about her, though? I don't care about her father, really.
Well, it's not for my business to get involved. But the scoundrel who drugged Bernie is a story.
It wasn't me that drugged her. It was my nephew. He's jealous.
If that's what you say.
Do you know her?
Oh no, she would never stoop to talking to me. I'm too old and too plain.
You're not that old, but you're not that old. But she's nice, really, when you get to know her, she's interesting.
As interesting as someone I can just walk into a tavern and people will tell me where he lives? That sounds like an interesting person.
Oh yeah, well, she's not as interesting as me, don't get me wrong.
How is it that everyone knows who you are?
Well, I spend a lot of time at Rusty's Hook. I'm not like an alcoholic or anything. It's kind of like a business, a place of business.
So you're a famous businessman?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, famous businessman. There's a business out there called the Pitmen. I work with them.
Do you? I think I've heard of these pit people.
Yeah. Well, it's their tavern, you see, Rusty's Hook. That's where it's where the people that work with them hang out.
Oh. Well, it actually sounds pretty interesting.
It is, but we could use you. We've got coin to pay you, and you could come and hang out for a bit and leave. I mean, that would be fine. But I'm not trying to get you in trouble. It sounds like you got a pretty good thing going on with this Matilda. It is dangerous in the city. I mean, we're okay, but it's probably more dangerous in Stromheim than it is on these roads.
Well, we travel. Maybe next time we're in the city. We're actually on our way up there now. It'll take us a while to get there. We're gonna stop in Cauldron for a month.
Where
or
are you playing?
A few weeks. What do you mean?
You going in the inner city?
I'm just the assistant. I don't know.
You think though that maybe the circus is going in the inner city?
Probably not. But if I come through, I'll stop at Rusty's
Rusty's Hook.
Rusty's Hook.
They do they Neil? Do they ever have music at Rusty's Hook?
Oh
Like
yeah,
shows
totally.
and stuff. You know, I'm sure you guys could get a job at the Hook for a day or two. They often have like bards and minstrels and people like that coming in.
Well, if Mr. Sanibel thinks that's a good idea, I'm sure we'll do it.
Do you mean Matilda or is Annabelle someone else?
I meant Matilda. The DM is just stupid. Please ignore
yeah.
that statement.
Is she in charge of the circus?
He nods. Of course.
I
Yeah, she's
see. She's in charge.
well. She's a smart woman. You know, she knows a lot of things. Everyone follows her. She knows about healing. She makes these poultices.
Yeah.
You know, she's got a lot of skills.
Are you still like? Aren't you still like nobility? Don't you still got your papers and stuff like that? Couldn't if you go to Stromheim? Wouldn't someone like sort you out over there? Your family must have friends.
Have any family left, and I don't know if we have any friends, and if they did, we did. I don't see if they'd have any reason to take me in. I'd just be another mouth to feed.
I don't know about that. You know, there's power in a name. You
Not
need
these
to.
days.
You should. You know, if I had a name like yours, I'd wear it. I'd wear it proud. I'd shout it from the rooftops. You're making a mistake keeping that to yourself. People kill for a name like that.
People will kill if they know your name too. Kind of regret telling you.
Well, you're no good to me, Dad. Much more useful alive.
Does that mean I'm good alive?
Yeah.
And
well,
then she sort of like turns her head down. I think your leg's done. I should go. And she
All right.
hurries up. And
wait,
scampers.
before you leave, do I need another day? Am I gonna see you tomorrow, or am I done?
No, you're good to go. Bye.
All right. Well, I'll see you in Stromheim.
She hurries out.
That was interesting. I ruminate on that, but quickly fall asleep.
All right. Party gets back
Being
together
drunk.
the next morning. All right, Mooten, you had a plan that you were going to talk to people about. Do you still remember?
All right.
I give him everything.
Now, Luther, I'm going to swap out her weapons. So give me your short sword, and I'll put one of my old daggers instead. And then we need to get a long sword so that I can take it out of her scabbard and then swap it.
Okay. Wow. I ain't got a long sword, but I could probably go and get one.
Yeah, go
Before-
buy one. And
Before this plan gets too far, I do. I want to remind you that the swords are not completely interchangeable, right? If you pick up a sword and it's not the sword that you're used to picking up, like it'll be obvious. The weight you might not be able to tell the weight, but like as soon
Even
as
if
you go to
it's in a
use it,
scabbard?
it's like, yeah.
If when she goes to use it, I just want to get out. My plan would be like we're able to wait the night and then get out the city in the morning, and she wouldn't notice. Now, obviously, if she pulls the sword out, she's gonna tell.
She's gonna find out pretty quick, but it might
Right.
buy us an hour after
It might-
sunrise to get out.
But it's like finding your car in a parking lot or taking your coat off of like a coat rack. Like,
Yeah.
there's enough small differences that you can tell your sword apart from others like lightning fast.
Do I feel like it would give us enough? It would get us through the night. Do I
It
feel like it would give us enough time to get out in the morning?
It really
But I
depends.
guess the question
on
is she gonna
what you
notice
mean.
as soon as she wakes up and straps her scabbard to her belt?
Yeah, when she gets up, if she goes to put her belt on, she will probably tell like instantly. Right? These aren't mass manufactured, repeatable parts.
Yeah.
Each thing is
Got
its
it.
own.
Well, then
craft.
there's no reason to even swap it out. Got
Okay.
it.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
I just
So
wanted
we
to
need to find
make
another
sure.
way out. The gates are closed at night, Neil. Is that correct?
That's correct. And they're not going to open in the middle of the night for anybody because it's just criminals who try to leave in the middle of the night.
For sure.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is then I can get
She's-
out
We could
via.
still- Sorry.
No, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say. I mean, we could still leave at first light, and even if she realizes that her weapons are missing, she's not immediately gonna be like close the gates. Necessarily.
Depends on
right?
what the weapons are, right? Here's what I posit. I can climb over. You and Racer leave, right? You camp out
You
there
climb
for
over the walls.
and I climb over the wall. I can do that easily with my rope and my grappling and my lasso.
Climb over the walls,
just-
get in, steal the stuff, and climb back out.
Oh no,
he's
I'll just
saying,
stay
he's saying
in.
just escape in the night.
Yeah,
No,
I'll just
we-
escape in the night, and they'll have the
climbing-
horses out there.
Climbing the walls of the city is probably something you could do easily, but there is a moat around the walls as well.
How big?
We could.
Big
we
enough
could,
that you can't jump it.
We could
You
maybe
could have a
set
boat
you
or
up
something.
No, a plank, right?
Oh, could they set up a plank overnight?
You say if you wanted to create some sort of bridge to cross the moat, it would probably be an engineering feat. Maybe you could get a really long log and a bunch of men to haul it and dump it, but it's going to be sort of a big, obvious object. And if anyone
deep is
patrols
the
the
moat?
walls, deep enough, you
You're
need
not
to be able
yeah.
to swim, and there's no
Not
way to
deep,
know until
sorry.
you.
How wide is it? Sorry.
Probably like 20 feet ish.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's a moat. It's defensive, and it's a flowing thing. Like the two rivers meet at Thornwood, and they've kind of
Yeah.
like carved a trench to go around. But essentially, like it's a river that's constantly pulling water in and circulating through. So it's not even like a stagnant moat. It's a flowing moat.
Interesting.
What if we bury them somewhere and wait out the search for a week, and then grab them and leave in the middle of the day? Like a week later.
What if I mean, I could throw a sword 20 feet, right, Neil?
You could probably chuck it. It would be a die roll, and especially if you're standing on the wall and you're just like trying to chuck it beyond the moat, it would be a die roll, and if you roll poorly, it falls in the moat and is lost forever. Or
I
until
could
you,
do something like I lasso a tree that's over, and then I could like tie a rope to it and then send it via. I could do
If there's
something
a
like
tree,
that.
could you not like Indiana Jones
Oh.
that shit?
Yeah, well, I have tightrope walk. This is the only time it's going to be useful. I could literally, at the top, lasso a tree and then tightrope walk and skip the moat.
It'd have to be a tree though.
It would. Well, I mean, look at it. Look at how many fucking
That's true.
trees there are
That's
on the
true.
map.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trees actually, the area around the moat in good times would probably be cut back, but it's been 15 years
Yeah.
since, well, 10 years since anyone's had the ability to do that. And so the foliage is re-encroaching in the area. It's only been 10 years, so there's not like giant trees, and lassoing a branch is a little bit harder than a person because like it branches and it clings. You could definitely do the reverse where you lasso like the parapet, or you could throw it to somebody on the other side to, you know, tie you into a
The
tree.
tie on the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
That works.
tightrope, there you go. There's a way.
Okay, so we have our
Okay,
way
so
out.
I will tie it to the tree, and then you can tightrope across.
Yes. So I'll be
Okay.
able to like lasso up, climb. I'm gonna be honest. I assume the guards aren't gonna be looking into the city for people trying to like fucking climb up, but it could happen. I'll look for a good spot,
You have to
And
be
a
quick.
good
We'll have
time.
we'll have the horses ready and be gone.
and we'll be gone.
Yeah,
In the
you'd
middle
have
of the
to.
night.
Eraser
Like
says you'll have to like climb the wall, and then immediately like we'll have to be waiting on the other side with the
Yeah.
horses, and then you'll have to do it fast.
Yeah.
You'll
All right,
have to
well,
lose the rope too, right? Tie one end on the castle wall,
Yep.
other end, yeah,
We cut it. Done.
done.
I can do this. I can fucking do this, guys. I'm literally a really good tightrope walker.
All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, it seems like it does seem like it could work. And I reckon there's a 50-50 chance that there's a magic weapon in there.
I probably, and magic weapons are worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
I
And
say
we
we.
can take them to Malchus to get them identified.
I say
Isn't
we
this-
fucking go for it.
Didn't we say earlier that like if it is a magic weapon, like they're gonna come after us for it? Is this too much heat?
But they're not gonna know.
They don't know who we are, right?
We're gonna be gone the day before.
Can't
But I'm gonna
wizards,
stay
like,
in the city
scry on
secret.
shit? Yeah, they like
They don't
scry
know.
on
They
their
don't
we-
know a fucking wizard.
I mean,
Fuck it, it'll be
Come.
fine. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we'll be fine, man.
It'll be fine.
All right, tonight is where you guys leave today, and then tonight, well, let's leave together, and I'll find a spot, and then I'll go back in.
we're gonna need to mark the tree. Yeah, we need to go together. Is that gonna be suspicious if we leave and come back?
I'll change my look.
Why don't we
What's
say?
more suspicious is that you'll be leaving and then like walking on the outside of the moat looking for a spot. Because if anyone's patrolling the walls during the daytime, like they're gonna see somebody on the wrong side of the moat in the middle of the woods walking around. Like that's a weird thing.
We'll like be picking shit off the ground, like berries or, like foraging.
Ah,
That way
it'll
it looks
look
like we
you're
have a
foraging.
purpose. We just
To
left
have-
and
for
now
our
we're doing
journey.
a little foraging for our journey. Yeah.
Why don't we tell the guards that, like, you could say like you're seeing us off.
Yeah, I don't think they'll give a fuck, but I'll make it known that like I'm seeing you off. I'll wave, I'll go goodbye, and then you guys fuck off,
But how are we gonna let you know which tree it is?
because we're gonna all go out there together.
Okay.
We're gonna do some foraging, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna go goodbye. I'll know where it is. I'll know the tree. You guys will fuck off. You'll come back in the middle of the night with all of the horses, and then we move on.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a few hours though. I need to do something.
All right.
All right. I get my shoes back on, Neil. Is my leg feeling better?
Yeah, it's still sort of swollen, but it is definitely healing.
I will go over to Bernie's house, but I'm hiding though. I'm not trying to get seen by her dad. I'm trying to find her without him seeing me.
Oh, buddy, this is where the magic breaks down. You find Bernie eventually. She's not at the house. She's out there with her parents, digging around in the clay, making bricks, getting her hands all muddy and dirty. She's not
Yeah, it's good for
the
her
hottest
skin.
chick at the party right now. Right now, she's another fucking peasant digging mud out of the earth and packing it into bricks and laying it in the sun.
I wait for her to like separate herself from them for a bit.
Yeah.
I watch.
Yeah, it takes a frustrating amount of time. My dice indicate. That's not until like late afternoon lunch break that she goes to a well to like go get some water and is away from the rest of the group.
I just want
Okay.
to say, I think at this point, probably Pigeon and Eraser would have just said, "Where the fuck is Luther? We need to go do the thing. Let's go
Mm.
find the tree." We
just
probably
going
fuck
without
off and go do it without you. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
You find her.
I go up
Yeah,
to her at
there-
the well.
She looks up at you and
Hey.
hey, and takes a couple steps back. You
What do you-
monster.
Oh. I didn't do anything. It was Pigeon. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
He's jealous.
She takes one
it was-
step forward and aims a slap at your face.
I dodge it.
1d20. Here we go. It's a 19.
That's a crit.
She's an excellent slapper. It rings out clear. It leaves a handprint on your face. Don't you come
All
near
right.
me.
Well, I'm gonna leave today anyway. But I just wanted to see you before I left. I was coming back through town. I didn't want to leave without seeing you, but I had a great time the other night. And if that was me that did that to you, I wouldn't have taken you back to your parents.
She scowls. You put me in a dangerous situation. I don't ever want to see you again.
All right. Well, you change your mind. I'm in Stromheim. I leave. Fuck.
I'm sorry,
okay,
buddy.
I go back to find them and find my horse is gone.
Find your horse is gone. No, your horse is probably there. I doubt they would take your horse. But you do
Oh,
find
no,
that
it
your
actually-
horse is gone. Oh,
Kind of worked out because 2 of us left with my horse, and then I'll come back.
So
All right.
I don't know whether to leave or to stay. I'm assuming that they've left, so I go out with my horse and go to leave. I get my shit.
you get your shit. You pack up. You made a plan, so you head out the river. The one important question is where is it? Because the town has like an east exit. Let me get the map up for the viewers.
Whichever one's closest to the camp is
East
the way
and
that
to
we would have
south.
done it.
Okay.
So it depends if the camp is more north or south.
The camp tends to be actually on the north side of the town. So the north side of the moat is probably the most rugged and rural and least, furthest from any of the roads, which might be great for you.
That's good for us, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to the boat that we made for Shacklebrook?
We
just left it.
put him on it and put him across, and you fucking took off. So he was on
Oh,
the
yeah,
boat
we left,
last you
yeah.
saw. Yeah.
Did we know? Was there a crossing point? I mean, I'm wondering if we could like leave via leave via this way and cross at some point.
You don't know of any good fording spot along the Misty River.
Just a reminder, we've done the Misty River. It was not treacherous for us. I think we could do it again.
Go back this way. I mean, I feel like we're going to get ourselves killed by ogres.
In character or out of character, I think it's probably better to go on the road. But in character, I think it makes. I mean,
it does kind of make sense, doesn't it? Especially if we're going from the north side of town.
Yeah, we've already done that. Like we know our route.
only as far as this, not all the way to Thornwood.
Yes.
But still, though.
How much more? How much scarier could it be?
Yeah, I mean the forest around the town's pretty thick, but if we like move quick, we'll be well out of there by nightfall.
Well, let's do it.
All right, I say to it. What's Eraser think?
Let me get this straight. The plan is tonight, Pigeon's gonna steal her shit, run to the wall, lasso over, type road rock across.
Yeah.
And then in the night, on our horses, we ride through the forest.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do it on the road, actually.
But we're going to be on the wrong side of the river, aren't we?
Well, yeah, we'll be on the wrong side of the river. I mean, the
bridge
is
by the gate, though.
Yeah.
Which is not going to be good.
I just don't want to get lost in the forest. They say the Thornwood Forest is spooky, you know?
As long as we follow the river, we'll be all right.
It's easy for me. You guys go to the road, and I'll do the tight roping down there. I can get through the town with the weapons.
Okay.
Well, right by the gate, maybe not. I mean, how bad could Thornwood be? It's fine.
I mean, it's
if an ogre comes, they'll eat our horse.
Eraser turns to Luther. If Pigeon dies, don't worry. I'll be like family to you. It'll be okay. The two of us will take on the world together.
Absolutely.
I'll be 17 in Eraser. That'd be huge.
Okay. We would... I mean, because technically you could tightrope walk across the river as well. There's trees on both sides. We would only need to repeat the same thing. Like, if we were on the south side and you were on the north side. But then if you get attacked, you're on your own.
Yeah.
So it's too risky, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The only crossing is right by the gate. Is that correct, Neil?
Yeah, there's a bridge that goes over the moat,
and is
on both sides.
The entire town on the wrong side of the river, or is the south wall of town?
I'm going to move us over to the ocean to the east of Shirebrook and just do a little doodle map for us. So very roughly, the town is like this, and the gray is going to be sort of how the rivers flow. Right, and the river direction is this way.
So if we went over the south wall, we would be on the right side of the river.
And there is a bridge that crosses here, and a bridge that crosses like here.
Got it.
That makes sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Moot?
Man, I'm horny to go into the Thornwood and get lost there, so I say we go to the north.
We could, yeah.
I say we go north, man.
They likely to, if they try and send riders, they're going to send them on the road, obviously.
Yeah. Which we're not going to be. I say we go north side. That's cool too, and like, you know, if we got to fight an ogre, that's adventure. There's
if we
cool
have to
shit
fight
to be
4
had.
ogres, we're going to die.
4, yeah, but we could run on horses, right?
Horses through the forest are slow.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you say, Nick?
How thick are the woods? I was asking about the horses in the woods, so it sounds like
the woods around Thornwood are pretty thick. Lots of undergrowth.
Let's go south. I'm sure that I can find a spot that's not exactly near the fucking gate that I can go over. So you guys go south and I'll meet you there.
And then what? We just go on the road?
Or you know what? You guys go south and I'll figure it out. I might go north and then go to a tree and then tightrope again over further down the road. What would you rather do? I think that's probably the safest.
I think you should just go for the south wall. Why not?
Okay.
I mean, I
Then I'll go
don't
for the south
think
wall.
getting across the town is going to be your issue.
Yeah. All right. We'll go south wall.
We could disguise ourselves as homeless in the abandoned town where Misty Rapids used to be and kind of wait for riders to pass, perhaps.
I'm just not worried about the riders, man.
You know.
No.
All right. Okay. So we'll find we pick a tree on the south side then, and we're just going to go on the road.
Okay. Cool. Well, it's
so Eraser
afternoon.
and I will make camp in the woods, probably like say 200 or 300 yards south of the spot. But then, once night falls, we're gonna go and wait by the tree in the dark. Or one of us will stay with the horses, and I'll go and wait by the tree.
Okay. Sounds like Eraser's going to stay with the horses. You're going to hang out near a tree because the whole party
The tree.
crosses the river and finds like the tree in question, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then he goes back into the
And
town.
then Mooton heads back into town on his own.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and you at some point you said the guards, they ask everyone what they're doing, coming and going. They saw you go. When you return, you say to them when they say,
I'm
"What
seeing
more?"
my friends off.
Yeah, it's a very reasonable thing. You come back in. All right.
Okay. Do you want to ask us, Neil, what we do if Pigeon doesn't turn up? This is a thing that you used to do quite a lot back in the day. But you
yes.
don't do anymore.
Well, yeah, but that's a great question, Nick. In the event, assuming
Yeah.
that
turn
Pigeon
up.
doesn't show up at the appointed time, what do you do for him?
I think
What,
we
you wait?
spend another day camping and we wait another day. Maybe something happened and he couldn't do it that day. And I think we would wait another day at the camp to see if either he just turns up, like he leaves the next day in town, like normally without having done it, or he tries the next night. If he doesn't come the next
When you
night,
say the camp, what camp do you mean? Because
well, Eraser's made a camp like 300 yards south of the tree
Okay.
in the woods. So we wait there because like Mooton would know that that's where we're kind of waiting for him.
Okay,
That's where the
so
horses are.
Eraser's waiting at a camp on the south side of the river, on the south side of the road,
With Lucy.
you- with the horses and everything, and you're on the north side of the road, south side of the river, near the tree that he's going to try and lasso to.
Yes. And I go there at night.
Right.
Wait, hold on.
That's
Koibu's
sunset.
confused.
Am I?
I'm coming to the south side as well. I'm no longer gonna lasso the north side.
Right.
But
You're
the
coming
road
to
is
like
north.
here, yeah? And
Okay,
you're going to
yeah, yeah.
cross. Yeah, but the tree is here, which is in between the river and the
Yeah.
road.
Okay, understood
then-
now. Sorry.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we'd wait one more day, and if that fails, then I'm going back in the town to look at if he's dead. Like, is there bodies hanging in there in the city?
No, not a single one.
Okay, but I feel like if he got caught robbing the night, that we'd find out pretty quick upon getting back into the town.
People would be talking about it.
Yeah.
He might be dead. He might be prisoner. Yeah.
So if he doesn't show up plus one day, then
Then
going
we'll
back
move
into
on.
the town.
But you'll come back for Pigeon, unlike Sierra.
Well, come back to see if he's dead. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
That's-
gonna leave him.
that's
I'd
family,
go
you know.
back. I'd
It's
go back in
family.
for sure. I might wonder if I wonder if I would disguise myself so as to not be obvious. You know how we said that we were leaving, right? And then we're coming back 2 days later,
Mm-hmm.
and we're his mate, so that could be troublesome. So I think I'd probably try and disguise myself and go in as somebody else.
All
to
right,
look
come
for
on.
him.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's
So that's what
just
I do.
gonna be too easy.
It's going to be simple. So you two head out. Pigeon, you're hanging out until after evening, I think.
Yep.
And then you're going to do this little sneaky job.
Well, I'm
So-
probably gonna I'm gonna take a nap because I want to be well rested for this. So I'm gonna take a nap. I know about when that guy, starts to fall asleep. I know. So I'm gonna wake up like when the sun's already down, and then I'm gonna get going. I want to be as good and as rested as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I left my bag outside with them, so I don't have any of the random shit in my bag.
What gear do you have? If you're leaving your bag, do you have weapons? Do you
Yep.
have armor?
I have my weapons. I'm
At
gonna
your
leave my
sides.
armor. Let
No
me
point
take
taking
my
your
armor
armor.
off.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's no
Yeah.
point taking your armor.
No, there's not. I'm putting on my mask
Mm-hmm.
for this tonight. I am gonna have all of my daggers, my lassos. I have another 50 feet of rope on me. Let me just put that on there.
So you've got daggers. You've got like 50 feet of rope. Since you don't have a backpack, it's like coiled over your shoulders or something. It's a
Yep.
lot of rope to carry. So it's around you. And
Yeah.
you also have, what, one lasso, two lassos?
I have a silken lasso and then 50 feet of rope.
Okay. And the silken lasso, what's the range on it?
Same as a regular. It's like 50,
50 feet. Okay, so they're both 50 feet of rope. So you have 100 feet
Yeah.
of rope strapped to you. And how
Oh,
many
yeah.
daggers is all of them?
2 daggers, a magic throwing dagger, and a steel team 6 daggers. So 4 daggers in total.
4 daggers. Okay. Is that like, just for flavor, is that like 2 on each hip? Is it 4
2
on
on
one
each hip.
hip?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And then I'm gonna stash the 50 feet of rope that I'm not gonna lasso with. I'm gonna put it just near the gate that I'm going to go at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find a little bit of rubble and I'm gonna put it there so that I'm not like carrying it with me the whole time.
Excellent.
But I will be
Excellent.
carrying the silken lasso with me.
All right.
And the
So-
way that that's strapped around me, it's not strapped around my shoulder. It's like a shoulder purse. You know how like you put it over your body? So I've got
Yeah,
like the rope like
across,
this
like
way.
diagonally
Yeah,
across your chest?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about lockpicks?
I go. Oh yeah, those are for sure with me. My lockpick set's in my pockets.
Okay. Nice. It's like a
So anything
folded up
that's
piece
like
of leather,
on
so
my
it's-
character sheet is with me,
Great.
and I've got it like clicked and everything.
Great.
Belt is with me as well in case I need it, and a ball gag. in case I need it.
gotta keep the ball gag and the marbles and watering
Yep.
skin. Yeah. Perfect. And some zircon gems. Perfect. All right. I see what you got. Love it.
Yeah, because the milkweed's going bad or whatever. Inside the watering skin, I'm gonna load it up with 3 vials of the milkweed and wine, just in case I need to pass it off.
Got it. All right. Perfect.
So Nick, remove 3 of the charges
Of what? Sorry.
of
The
milkweed.
milkweed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Pigeon. Night has fallen. The shifts have changed. The night watch, nice and fresh from their day of resting, are set out. The former guards are now coming back to take their sleep and their food. They're talking it up. They're having a good time. They're swapping stories. They're bored. You're walking through the town on the way towards the guards, towards that little
Sneaking.
camp.
Sneaking through the town.
Sneaking. Okay, not walking down the main drags, but
No,
out
because
in
I got a
the-
weird lasso thing. I don't want to,
Yeah.
and a mask on.
Yeah. Great. I'm just gonna make some rolls in secret. Okay. Excellent. So Pigeon, you make your way to that same spot where you were overlooking the camp. It's on the other side of a cleared street. And then, in a little bit, and there just happens to be like a building that collapsed that was a few stories tall. And there's like a nice little, like a section where a window frame still is holding up that you can kind of like hide inside of and peer out towards. And you can wait and watch from here until the bodyguard is fully snuggled down in his spot with his back against the barrels. The other watchmen and guards are getting on towards bed. They've finished up their suppers. The servants cleaning out the pots. People are starting to settle down. You don't see Kelraina in her tent because the angle's awkward, but...
Are her
like, you
boots
would-
outside?
No, she dragged her boots back inside last time.
Got it.
She's probably there. The bodyguard is against the tent, so like...
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's time.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna wait for like the best time to do it. Obviously, if I see the guard, like I'm watching the tent, and then I'm gonna watch over here. That's when I'll go.
Yeah, well, the guard, he closes his eyes. He's busy.
I mean the 2 sentinels or whatever.
The 2 sentinels, right. Well, the time for, like, from the moment that you decide to go until the time that you're in the camp, there's going to be a window. And you never know what they're going to do during that window, right? Like,
you never know.
They could be looking
just-
this way,
yeah.
and by the time you creep across, they could turn around and be looking the other. Anything could be happening. So
It's a die roll. Let's do it.
any time is as good as now. What is the plan?
The plan is basically to go in, the opposite side of the guard
Mm-hmm.
and to infiltrate the tent and just take her shit without her noticing.
Perfect. Well, it sounds to me like we are going to need a hide and a move silently check versus the guards, who you are going to be as far away from as possible. And so they'll have some level of penalty on their checks. Let's start with a move silently.
29.
Nice.
29. Excellent.
There's some bonuses in there as well. I am gonna have my shoes off. I would have left those with the rope. So there's a bonus of 1 in there if we're doing the same as last time.
Yeah, it'll be a bonus of 2 because you're not like crawling through rubble. You're going to be walking across the ground, which is just a little bit better. So a total bonus of 2. You have daggers and some rope, but you don't have a lot of loose gear, so we'll stay at a bonus of 2. No armor, no encumbrance. It is quiet, though. It's nighttime now, so your sound travels a little farther, so the stillness cancels out
-2.
the barefoot.
Cool.
And it's just a 29 versus the sentry, who's got some distance, given the penalty. But he's on watch, so he does have advantage. But can he really beat a 29? Probably not. All right. You're moving silently. You get past the road, you get to the edge of the camp, and you start to creep in towards the camp, in towards the areas that are illuminated with a little bit of torchlight here and there, because it's a couple days before the new moon. The moon is out,
shadows,
which makes it sort of bright, but
It's good for me. I need to be able to see.
You need to be able to see. It's time, as a guard, inevitably will scan in your direction, and you're waiting. You're like watching the guards.
Oh yeah.
So I think you will probably be moving from like cover to cover, waiting for a good opportunity. We're going to say that you've got pretty decent reaction. Well, 1 there. The cover in the camp is a little bit more limited because you can't like just jump into a tent that might act as cover or lean against something because there might be a person there. So the amount and quality is lower, but you are more prepared for it. So let's say a bonus of 1 on your hide check. 32 modified.
32.
Excellent.
Nice rolls. 215. It's good.
And our guard. I don't know if he can actually beat that. $728 is not a 32. He did good, but he didn't do good enough. You make it into the camp. You make it all the way up, right near Kel Reyna Tulwick's tent. The guard, the old bodyguard, is out front. Man that's seasoned well enough to be traveling with her out there. Maybe it was her former teacher or trainer, maybe just an elder knight, maybe someone respectable, maybe just the last useful knight she could get her hands on. Who knows the quality of this person? But he
could be level fucking 12.
Or he could be
no
level
idea.
1. There's
He
no
could be.
idea. But he's got a sword out on his lap, his head against the barrel so it's back, but his hand resting on the hilt of his sword, which is naked on his knees. All you gotta do is make it into her tent here.
Yep.
And you wait for the guards to be doing something else. You're going to need another move silently to go past this person who is sleeping, and she's sleeping.
That's right.
So they both have, huge penalties on their get noticed checks.
I'm going
but
to
they
sneak
still
in.
need them.
Hands on my 2 daggers. If I see him open his eyes, I'm going for a assassinate. One hand's on my magic dagger, my other hand's ready to put it over his mouth. And I'm gonna go for an assassinate if I see his eyes flutter open. So here's my move silently.
It's a natural 1, everybody.
There we go.
All right, here is the old man's perception.
Maybe he gets a 1 too.
He could. He
Good.
could. He does have huge penalties because he is
He's
asleep. Now he's supposed to be
a
on
one's not an
watch.
automatic fail, is it? Because it's not like it's about him waking up. It's not necessary. This means that Moot makes noise, but doesn't necessarily mean that they wake up.
Correct. That was
I mean, you could try and hide. I mean, like, just because you make noise doesn't necessarily mean they.
It's true. I called my action though, and I
Yeah.
think that that's what I would do.
Well, you take a step forward, and I think what you've come across is an old trick that you probably should have been aware of, but you're so focused on the magic items inside that you didn't see that this guy has sprinkled just on the ground beside him some little, gentle twigs that just make the ground a little crunchier, just a little crunchier.
Yep.
Probably something that he does almost instinctually because he seems veteran. And he would know, like, here's the easy path and whatnot. Maybe these are just random debris. Maybe it's not a plan, but you definitely sort of give a little bit of a snap, and his eyes begin to flutter open instinctively. And you go ahead with your assassinate. Now, you're definitely getting +4 for him being... combat modifiers. He is sitting, so that's another +2. He is surprised. That's another +1.
Back attack?
No, you're definitely attacking him from the front.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's a +3 to hit. Yeah.
Let me think. I might have more. Just let me cook here. He's waking up. Anything for that? And he doesn't have Dex AC.
He definitely doesn't have Dex AC.
Is he wearing armor?
He's got that shirt of chainmail. He's got 13 AC with the shirt.
It's not worth it to do a cold shot.
Well,
That's -4.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
AC's
but
3.
does his chainmail wouldn't affect?
We're just making attacks, yeah.
All right. Okay,
Roll
magic
high.
throwing dagger. I'm not throwing it. I'm attacking with it. A 20 plus an extra 3, so a 23.
23.
That clears by 10, so you're doing 2, 3, 4 times damage.
Okay.
Wait, why is it only 4 times?
Because assassinate, when it's a success, you multiply the damage by 2 plus an additional 1 for every 4 points of AC cleared. So he clears by 10, so 2, 3, 4.
So how does it improve with level?
When you were level 1 through 4, it was +1 for every 5 points of AC. Levels 5 to 8 is for every 4 points. 9 through 12 is you roll the damage twice and pick the highest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I roll a d4 here.
Is it-
D4 plus 2,
is it-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it counting the magic bonus doubling or not?
The rules
we said that it did.
say the damage roll is modified based on the
We were
thief's
doing
level.
strength in the past, yeah.
So it's 4d4 plus 2. Or no,
No,
it's
we're
d4
multiplying.
multiply,
D4
yeah.
multiplied by 4, yeah.
plus 2.
So 4, 6 damage.
Oh, minimum damage. Natural 1.
I have 2 attacks.
But your other hand's on his mouth, right?
Yeah, my other hand is on his mouth. I might get another attack in, but I don't know if it'll kill.
All right, let me roll his HP. You did 6, you said?
I did 6. He's an old codger.
Yeah, let me roll his con and see if he has bad con at this point in his life. Because he's
How old he is as well? Yeah.
10
negatives.
con, and he'll have suffered a -2. 8 con is not any penalties, so he's rolling regular hit points here. Ooh, wow, wild HP all over the place. Okay. Mixed rolls. You did 6?
I did 6.
6 is not enough, sir.
How's he looking?
Let me. He's looking down a third, down by 1/3. And And this is the surprise round. You put that hand over his mouth, make me an attack roll against AC 10 at +3 to just put a hand over his face. Yeah, not a problem. You grab him by the face. He's surprised. He loses this round. The two of you roll initiative against each other for next round.
Well, shit.
Trying to think of what to fucking do. The camp's kind of spread out, it sounded like.
You might what?
I might be able to get him.
Not without waking everyone up, no?
I don't know.
He's got 12 HP left.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
About.
strong. All right.
You win initiative. Still sat.
Let me just roll his strength to make sure that his strength hasn't been nerfed by old age either.
Do you think I attack him with the metal dagger here, Nick? For the bonus of 1 to hit his armor.
Good call.
And then back up and throw the dagger?
I don't think you should throw it. Why would
Well,
it-
the magic throwing dagger, because you get double damage
Oh, you get double
on a
damage.
hit. And if I crit, like,
Yeah. Well, maybe that could kill him, yeah. But if you throw it and he doesn't die, and then you run, you're down a magic dagger.
it's true. But I think I'm fighting him no matter what, so I'm coming back in. I think that's like the way to kill him.
Yeah, he wouldn't get an attack of opportunity.
No, he wouldn't. He doesn't have his sword or anything.
Well, it is in his hand. I don't know. Maybe he does. But like, you need to kill him this round, right?
I know.
Fuck. This is the thing. Like, there's so many rolls, and you're just bound to get a 1. This is like, I just know that I would get a 1 if I tried to do this within the first couple of rolls. Shit. I have to say, the assassinate damage. It
It's
should be
so low.
I think it should be 4d4, not d4 times 4. I don't know why it's like that.
It's in order to give better swingage to it.
Yeah.
Because if you do 44, you're always going to be doing very middling damage, and you're never
Yeah.
going to do good damage with that. And this gives you either like it's not that effective, or you're fucking
Or you
killing
fucked 'em up,
someone. Yeah. I'm aiming for the swing here. Now this old man, his strength is down at 7. That is -1 to hit, and with his chainmail and weapon on, he is only lightly encumbered. So no other penalties to hit.
It's fine.
Does that give him a penalty to his initiative?
No.
Being lightly encumbered.
No, not until moderate encumbrance do you hit anything. And his initiative roll is 1d10 plus 5 is an 8.
Okay, he goes
Pigeon
second.
goes first.
Okay. Here's what I do, Neil. Metal SEAL Team 6 dagger. So this has a +1 to hit again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I stab him with it. A
Oh,
23.
crit.
It's a
that is
modified
a crit.
24. It does clear by 5 since it's natural 18. You do crit double damage.
Okay. And we are rolling for the crit table here.
Okay.
8.
Ooh, max
Not bad.
damage.
I know the throw dagger's gonna miss, Nick. I feel it.
At this point, do you just go for a stab, or do you go for the throw?
I think you go for the throw.
Give me. Let me roll him a saving throw.
on,
It
a 1.
is saving throw versus death is a pass.
Okay. So you don't need anything then, right?
And I need nothing from you. But that was your main attack with your right hand.
It's my first attack.
Are you?
That was
second
my
hand is
left
grabbing
hand.
It. Oh, it was your left hand.
That was my left hand. Because I'm pretty sure I'm ambidextrous. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And now I'm backing up a little bit. Or can I throw it here and it
No,
will work?
you cannot throw it from this range.
I back up a little bit, like
It
I'm
will
going to
provoke
run.
an attack opportunity. He's got his hand on
I'll-
his sword.
I'll take it.
It comes out of penalty, so he's at 1d20 plus 3 plus 2. I'm sorry, 3 plus 1 minus 1 for strength.
He's sitting as well.
Yep.
I don't know if that does
Minus
anything.
2 for the sitting. It's an 8.
Just fucked it.
And now I'm gonna throw the magic throwing dagger at him. What are my bonuses here? 2 for the dagger.
2 for the dagger. He's sitting, so you're actually at a -2. He's a smaller target when he's sitting.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
All right. So add -2 to this. It's a
13 becomes an 11,
an 11, yeah.
which is a miss.
Why add -2 if you encountered for the +2? Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Wait, is it really -2 from sitting, Neil?
Missile attacks against sitting people are at -2. Missile attacks against prone people are at -4. Melee attacks are at +2 and 4 respectively. Yeah.
And he doesn't stand up when I walk away.
No, he made an attack from being sitting because it's not his turn. You
Okay.
miss.
I miss.
He gets up. He shouts, "Intruder!" and stumbles forward, bleeding from a gut, like a chest stab, 2 chest stabs, takes his sword and tries to plunge it directly into you. 1d20 +3 +1 -1. A 19 is a
It's a hit.
hit. You will take
Can I
1d8
make a perception check now to hear him shout
plus-
intruder?
Absolutely not. You are way too far away. It's a total of 10 points of damage.
It's a good
Max
hit.
damage on the hit. Wow! Right into Pigeon. Now,
Can I take the rest of my movement?
no. I think you ended. You,
What if
you
it's
threw a
towards
dagger
him?
and he's like adjacent to you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. It's awkward when people take movement out of turn. It's weird.
Yeah, it's fine. We roll in?
Let's roll initiative because now other people are waking up. Guards are waking up. Raina's waking up. Let's do it.
1D. Well, can you roll her perception check?
I will roll everything in due time.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just get some things on here.
I'm gonna take movement. My goal is to go grab my magic dagger and then continue running out of here. Nice.
Oh no.
Max.
Oh no. Oh god.
Just so you know, that should have hit. The throwing dagger,
Wow.
I got unlucky.
I
I just got unlucky.
Yeah.
I have a +6 there before the -2. Or I guess I have a +8 before the -2.
Yeah.
You needed a 9. It's not that unlucky.
I need a 7.
You need a 7.
With the -2, you needed a 9, no?
No, because
You needed
only
a
need 13 to hit.
13.
It's +6. The -2 is +4.
With 2 for the magic.
Yeah.
It's
I need
plus
a
8 is his base attack.
Oh, it's +8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's roll some things here. The knight obviously sees you. The guards who are on watch automatically see you. That if they couldn't, that would be awful. The woman that is asleep, the knight that is asleep in her camp with her bodyguard.
Oh no.
Let's see. That's actually not great perception.
Okay, that's good.
But those are fine rolls. She's
Okay,
absolutely
that's not
awake.
good. Getting the
I
fuck
am
out
going
of
to
here.
give her a penalty to her initiative because she's like getting up, obviously. This
Yeah.
should be delayed. So instead of going at 8, I'm going to give her like a -2 penalty. She'll go at 10. And the knight goes at 7. And I'm just going to put the 2 guards that are on duty on the same initiative roll for simplicity.
In the future, I shouldn't have attacked him. I should have just been like, hey, it's okay. Sorry, I stumbled. And I should have used my words. Maybe.
Well, the
I
old
mean,
man
The assassinate should have worked, man.
nearing death.
There's a
was
series
good
of
old
unlucky
bodyguard.
results here.
He takes that arming sword. He stumbles. He feints in one direction and then slashes in another. +1, 11 to hit.
Miss.
Is no good. Whoosh. It goes past him. You see the flap to the tent flow open. Raina's there just in her like night clothes, which are just ordinary small clothes. And she's got a arming sword in hand. The scabbard is somewhere
Does it look
inside.
magical?
And it's too early in the moonlight. He's got to be thinking straight about like combat. There's no time to adjust this. And she holds her ground, and calls out to everyone else to rally to me. The 2 guards, though, good guards that they are, Are they good? Are they good? Let's give them both a wisdom check here. I think you actually
gonna
want
be
them to
scared,
pass
are
this
they?
wisdom check. 12. This one fails.
What's the check for, Neil?
The check is to. You ever watch like children play soccer or football, and they just kind of like cluster around the ball, and it's like a really shitty, like nothing happens. You kind of need to be spread out. You need to be watching, and a good guard wouldn't just immediately run towards danger. A good guard might be like, this could be, like, let me get the lay of the land and react
Like cooking more
secondly.
people.
Yeah, exactly. These two guys fail their wisdom checks immediately, and they both converge directly on the source of the threat, ignoring the camp around them, which is, it's bad for you that they failed their wisdom checks. And they come at you with spears. They have shitty attacks. One is a 12, the other is a 15.
15's a hit.
15 will hit you with a spear. Two-handed, no shield. 2d4 damage is 8. Max damage on the spear shot.
nice.
Unlucky.
Okay.
And Pigeon finally getting his turn. 3 people on you.
I run, I grab my dagger, and I book
Your
it.
dagger is right next to the tent where the knight is standing with her sword.
Gotta
You're
grab
taking
it.
the opportunity attack anyway. You might
I'm
as
taking
well.
it anyways. I'm near. I'm grabbing the dagger, and I'm
All
running.
right. That means you're taking an opportunity attack from the 2 guards, the knight, and then the woman who's standing right next to your dagger. That's 4 opportunity attacks.
You doing it? He's doing it.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
doing it. I need
All
that.
right. All right. Here we
Wait.
go. Guard number 1. This is at +2 because you're inevitably at your back is to them while you're running away. 5 is a miss. Guard
Okay.
number 2. Natural 18 modified 20 is a crit. Roll
good
me on that crit table.
You've got
saving
so much
throw versus
HP
death.
though, you know.
I just want to make sure I roll the right one versus death magic, right? That
Versus
one.
death magic, yeah,
Yeah.
it should be your best save.
We're good.
Totally passed. 44 damage comes out as 7, less than
Not bad.
average. The knight is going to make 1d20 plus 3 for level, plus 1 for specialization, minus
much
1
HP you
for
on?
weakness,
15.
plus 2 for back attack. Total of 16. Modified
It's a hit.
21
It's
is
a
a hit. For 1d8 plus 2 points of damage is 7.
Okay.
8 HP left.
You get past the guards. You get past the bodyguard. You're coming right up towards the woman who stood by the tent because she's a smart commander. She's in charge. She can't throw her life away recklessly. But you're approaching and going to grab the dagger that's like just to the side of her. So she is going to make her very best attack. Now, the poor girl, I have notes here. She is only 23 years old. She is only a 4th level fighter. So D20, I'm not going to roll any stats. I'm going to assume average. Plus 3 for
4.
level, 1 for specialization, and 2 because you are having to be sitting or kneeling when you're making your opportunity
Wait,
attack.
Don't forget a
to get the
magic sword
dagger.
as well.
Right. Plus something for. Actually, I should determine. I haven't even determined at this point if it's magic or not.
Yep. I'd like to know if it is.
You want to know if you're risking your life for something good?
Would you rather get killed by, in this case, would you rather Neil
I would rather
roll?
get killed by magic than not.
Would you
Okay.
rather it be magic and then at least it was
Yeah.
worth it?
It was at least
Okay.
something.
You've got 8 HP left.
Yep.
So if it's magic, if it's +2, she's rolling D10 plus 4. D8
Right.
plus 4.
We're coming over here to this good old loot chart. And I'm just gonna roll a percentage chance to see if she's got something good, because maybe she does.
Well, also,
maybe
it
she
might not
doesn't.
be this weapon. There were 2 other weapons that it could be as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
surely
but if
she's
you're
drawing
good-
a magic weapon, though.
Yeah,
That's true. I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And there was a plethora of +1 swords handed out at the end
There
of
was a
Tombs of
plethora
Scoria.
of magic, man.
True. Now Neil's like, of course she's got a magic weapon.
I think there is a solid 25% chance that
This
she
might be a sword of
has-
sharpness, like Moot was saying.
No,
Could be off with his head.
it's not a sword of sharpness. There's a
We did have a sword of
25%
sharpness,
chance
didn't we?
here. Nick,
We did have one though.
you did, but
Yes,
why would this
let me
woman
roll
have
it,
it?
Neil.
D100.
25%
Oh, I'm
or
rolling
lower on
for
a
the-
D100.
Do you want low or
Is-
high?
Low means she has a magic item.
Give
Yes.
it, Nick. Roll low. Roll low.
It's a 33. It's a regular sword.
Okay.
Right. It was
All right.
worth nothing.
17
That's a hit.
Okay.
for
D8 plus 2.
9 points of
Fuck,
damage.
that's it, man. You're
I'm
dead.
negative
Yeah.
1. I'm done.
You hit the ground.
I can't be held.
Hubris.
I hope that they save me, and then I escape.
If it makes you feel better, Neil, would she not have also had a ready attack?
She did
Yes.
hold her ground, yeah.
So she should have had another attack after that.
True, yeah.
I think, yeah, I don't know whether the ready attack, the attack of opportunity are the same thing in this situation. I don't know. Probably not. There probably was going to be a second attack in there.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay.
I misplayed.
Dagger. The dagger.
We
All
just
you
roll
gotta
a
do
one,
is
man.
roll well.
That's all.
What should we do?
Well, what we should do is we should go to Luther, who is waiting. And waiting outside. You don't know when
I mean,
he's
I
going
already
to do this stuff.
Yep, I already said what I do, though.
Yeah.
I wait a whole other day. Unless I have a reason to believe that something's happened, of course.
Of course. And if there's some commotion, there might be a reason. But also, the commotion
Yeah.
ended fairly abruptly.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but that might be some sort of, I don't know, shout from the wall or something,
mm-hmm.
potentially.
Now,
You should claim to be like an assassin from a political enemy. She might keep you alive to interrogate you. An Eridonian assassin. Damn, dude. Fuck.
well, as you guys have done in the past, when you have found someone in your lair, you didn't immediately kill them. You interrogated them. When you found someone who had betrayed Lemon, you didn't immediately kill them. You had them interrogated. Someone sneaking
yeah.
into your camp. You want answers.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean that Pigeon, is fine and dandy, but it also means that they're going to put at least a little effort into figuring out the bigger picture. Is this a one-off event, or is this something they have to be worried about? You said you were at -1?
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll take a few minutes for them to get to you and bind your wounds. It sounds like you're not going to bleed to death in the meantime. But they also don't have a healer on hand, so it'll be days before Pigeon is conscious.
Yeah.
The problem I'm
He
seeing...
left his bag with me, is that right? Can I see his
Yeah.
Can I see his backpack? Do you have a healing potion?
No.
I thought you took them, no?
I don't have them on me. I know that I drank one of them at one point.
There's no proper prison here. So how do you detain... Like, you could just tie someone up and leave them tied up against something. That's reasonable. Unfortunately, it's a rope use check to get out, so it's not super secure. If I had a prisoner, I would like to put them somewhere a little more secure. Okay. So Luther, the night passes. It gets well beyond the point where Pigeon should have come up. Eventually, you go back to Eraser,
Yeah.
we hope.
Yeah, the next morning, yeah.
Oh, you
back to
wait
the camp.
there all night long. Okay.
Yeah,
We
I wait
just-
all night because I don't know when it could happen at any time in the night, right?
Any time in the night.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a quick encounter check to make sure that there's no creatures encountering you outside of the city of Thornwood in the middle of the night. Sorting my list. Nope. Those creatures leave you alone. Absolutely. They want nothing to do with you. And Eraser actually encounters the same thing. Lovely. All right. So the both of you make it through the night. You find Eraser near daybreak. And he's
come.
waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't come, huh?
He didn't come. Maybe He didn't get an opportunity.
Oh, Jesus. Sierra, again.
No. We would have heard if something happened. He's
All
just
right.
biding his time.
Give it another
We'll
night?
just give it another day. Yeah.
Give it another day. Okay. And you both wait.
So I hang out in the camp during the day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sense of foreboding. But we try and put it
Yeah.
to the backs of our minds, and then once nightfall comes, I go back to the tree.
Yeah. This close to the town, you don't
In
have
fact,
to
I
worry
probably
about
sleep
goblins.
during the day. I probably sleep
Yeah,
during the day. Yeah.
Yeah, that next night, no sign of Pigeon either. Nope, those creatures don't come this close to the city wall. I'm glad you guys are on the south side and not the north side, because then these creatures absolutely would have found you. But no, there are no bandits and no goblins come this close to the town walls. So you guys can pass your days and nights surprisingly comfortable.
Yeah.
Awakening, or, days later, coming to the conclusion that Pigeon is not arriving.
Yeah. So I say to Eraser, all right, well, something must have happened. He'd have come out by now. We need to go back in there.
Eraser looks at you. Are you sure?
I mean, listen, if you're worried about going back in, I can meet you back at Stromheim, but I'm not leaving him.
What if he... How do you say this? It's a difficult thing when someone gets captured. The first group that I ran with back in the day, we were pretty good friends. One of us got pinched. He immediately, to save his own hide, ratted us all out. Our little rendezvous point, guards burst in. I got out through a window. A couple of my other buddies didn't. Do you think Pigeon, under pain
No
of
way.
death? Pain of death.
We're family. I'm his only family. There's no way. I've known him since he was a little kid. There's no way he'd sell me out.
People sell each
Plus-
other out all the time.
If he was going to sell us out, they'd be here by now. Well, what would they want with us anyway? We didn't do anything. They want him. I mean, if he's got captured, he's the one who's been...
Oh, sure, but
breaking in,
he
right?
could say, don't kill me, my friends have all this money and they're just camped over here. Or, he could come up with anything. If it's his life or ours, look in my eyes, Luther, and tell me you wouldn't sell me down the river to save yourself. I mean,
Truth
actually,
is-
you didn't. You did come back
Eraser.
for me.
Here's the truth.
Yeah.
You, I wouldn't sell you out. Sierra, Percival, Helmet, maybe I'd think twice, but you, no. And Pigeon, like I said, he's family. He's my only family. No way. No way. If he's in there, he's not selling us out. He's waiting for us. I've got to go back in, even if he's hanging there. I've got to see it.
When we got pinched by the Copperheads and they gave you that ultimatum, I thought for sure you guys
exactly.
were going to fuck off and I was never going to
Yeah, well,
see
that's
you
right.
again. But you came back.
Well, we didn't. Yeah,
That would have been easy.
because I never met anyone who can think as good as you, Eraser. We wouldn't
All
have
right.
all this gold if it wasn't for your big brain in there.
Okay. Well,
If you
then.
want to wait, you can wait.
No,
but
no,
I'm
no,
going
no.
back in.
He puts
I
out an
think-
arm. I know there's only two of
Brothers.
us now, but Steel Team 6 never dies.
Steel Team 6. I
All
think
right.
Pigeon told him we will leave him, so we gotta make ourselves look a bit different before we go in.
You think they might recognize us with Pigeon? One of the innkeeper knew we were together.
Yeah, we gotta stay at a different inn. We gotta make ourselves look a little bit different.
There was only one inn in that town, dude. That was it. That was the only one.
Well, I did all the speaking to the innkeeper, although you were drinking with me all day that day.
Yeah. Okay, either we both go in there and we get him out and we run like bandits, or we send one of us in there, and if it doesn't work out, we got plan C, which is the other one of us comes in after you. And you think
Gotta
you
be
can do this
somewhere to
alone?
stay in there, right? I don't know what the situation is. I mean, we can't fight him out,
No way.
right? No way.
If he's dead, we'll know immediately and we'll be able to get the fuck out of there.
You think?
Oh, well, I mean, if he's caught, like, everyone's going to know about it. And if he's
Yeah, but
dead, everyone's going to know about it. Right? Word travels fast. Like, someone's going to talk.
All right. Well, it's still early. We go in there. I mean, we don't have to stay over. I mean, we could leave. We can leave before nightfall. And if not, there's enough ruins in there. We can find somewhere to sleep for the night if we have to.
Well, how do we get him out? Like, what if he's not mobile?
don't
What
know.
if his legs are shackled together and we can't unpick the locks? What if they've broken
If he's
his
awake,
legs?
we just got to get him his lockpicks. I say. I point to his bag. He can unpick them himself.
And if they've taken his lockpicks, he took them with him. Like, they could have chucked those.
Oh shit, he did. I
Yeah.
start rooting through his bag.
That's not there.
Fuck. Think you can buy lockpicks in there?
No way.
Shitty little lock like that, though. He'd only need you could give him a twig, he could open them.
Sure, but what if his legs are broken, huh? What if he's unconscious? You know, what if
Sure,
they've
what if?
broken all of his fingers or chopped him off? What if they've taken his hands? Like, we got to do this. We got to find a way to do this without Pigeon being able to do shit. This is a rescue operation.
We're not going to be able to come up with a plan unless we know what we're dealing with. We got to go in there and see what the situation is. We got to find out.
You want to save this for next time?
Okay. Yeah, basically. This is what we're
Okay.
going to do. This is the
Yeah.
plan. You're going to disguise yourself. You're going to go in as someone
My
different.
time has come.
All right?
Finally.
When
Yeah.
you're in there, I need you to give me a signal that it's clear or not. All right?
You coming in too? Or are you staying out here?
I think I should stay out here. All right, here's the deal. You go in and you rescue Pigeon. Because you can get in there disguised. I'm going to assume that they've asked around because it's been 2 days. They know what I look like. They'll see me coming. You might have a chance to get in on your own. Actually, what's my disguise check? He says to himself out loud. It's not that great. It's only a 13. What's yours?
It's better than that, but it's not that much better. Mine's a 15.
Well, let's fucking do it. Well, no. You go in alone. If you don't get out, if you can't get out and get Pigeon out in 2 days, I'm coming in after you. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But how am I going to signal you?
If you don't come out in 2 days, I'm coming in after you.
Okay.
And
Help me with my disguise. I get myself. I want to swap jackets with Eraser. Right, he's smaller than me, so now I've got like a more fitted, kind of like tight-fitting jacket, and I'm going to give myself a beard. And I might like shave my head as well, so I'm now like bald with a beard, whereas before I had some amount of hair. Make myself look a little bit different. I've got some little scissors. I'm going to trim my eyebrows to make them like thinner, because I thought it makes quite a difference to your face. Would I have colored contact lenses? That's not a
no,
thing, is
definitely
it?
not. No.
What else might I have in my disguise? Some makeup?
Yeah, but the bulk of your disguise isn't actually changing, features. It's being able to pass as something, like to present yourself in another way. The bulk of the disguise is not visual, it's psychological. So you need to change your personality from like badass warrior who struts into town into like meek person who you don't think is carrying a sword, right? You need to present yourself as something other than Luther, the thief, enforcer.
And I was wearing my sword on my belt before, whereas now I'll keep it in my bag.
What size sword do you have?
Short sword.
Yeah, you can fit that in your bag.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, I have a different demeanor. One of...
I think you're
like
gonna
a
have to take a
traveler.
dagger. A short sword's too big to fit in a bag. It'll stick out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
okay,
you could keep a short sword on you if you want, but
yeah. No, I think I will keep my short sword, but I keep it in my. It can stick out, but it's like Luther carried his short sword because he was a warrior, whereas this guy is gonna just like carry his short sword in his bag in case he needs a short sword on his journey. You know.
Okay.
So that's different. Yeah, and I'll make my way into town and I'm gonna try and find out what happened to Pigeon, but we can do that next time, I guess.
So here's the tentative plan. Obviously, the plan might change.
Yeah.
The tentative plan is to do a solo session with Nick to get Pigeon out. Because Pigeon is going to be unconscious and below, like, unable to play in the escape.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If he's unconscious,
Yeah.
it might make sense to wait for him to become conscious before trying to bust him out now. Because how am I going to get him out of the city unconscious? Like, that seems an impossibility, no?
I don't know.
Maybe I could get him to a house and have him recover there, but it's going to be tough to convince someone to harbor somebody who just tried to kill the Lord.
Certainly. But when he's conscious, like, that'll be a huge change. That'll be interrogate, and then there's not going to be a lot of time. Like, maybe they hold him, maybe they kill him on the spot, maybe they do something with him. While he's unconscious is probably your best bet because he can't do anything. He's not useful to them, right?
Yeah,
By the
as long
time
as
he
doesn't
becomes conscious, he's...
talk
Yeah.
immediately.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm going in this day anyway, so I'll find out whether he's conscious or unconscious, and I'll see what the situation is and see if I can feel like I can get him out.
Right. And if for whatever reason you fail to get him out, I want to bring in Peachal to play Eraser to try and get the two of you out separately. And then
Genius, okay.
that way it's not in my hands. And that's the plan.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right. I've got my... Wait, do I have lockpicks? You would think I do. I don't think I
Why
do.
would you? You've got Pigeon with you. You never need to
Yeah.
buy or keep
I've
your
never
own.
picked- Yeah, true.
Okay. Fun adventure times. Remember, all you got to do is roll well, or alternatively, not roll poorly. A bad
right.
one will ruin your day.
Yep.
Well, it's all well that ends well.
Yeah, that guard had a 19 HP. So if you had rolled a 4 times 4 would have been 16 plus 2 would have been 18, would have brought him to within 1 HP. And then your second stab would have killed him because you did like 10 damage or something. 8. It was very close.
It happens.
It happens.
If you'd have hit the throwing dagger, you would have died probably as well.
He would have
Oh,
died then
absolutely.
too.
Yeah. You had brought him down to
Sometimes you miss.
11 after your first attack. Or after your first 2 attacks, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Nick, I'm gone Tuesday, so if you guys want to get a solo session in, then that's a good day to do it.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See you later.